Okay, so my question is this: should we be eating to live, or should you live to eat?
You got to choose either or.
You got to choose one. How do you approach life?
I think that we should. I live to eat. I'm a fat girl magic on the inside, but I think it should be. You should only eat for the purposes of living.
So eating to live.
Yeah, I think that's what it should be. However, that's not what I do.
Rule.
I would create a balance with that because a lot of times, like I fast, I do intermittent fasting, and I just got off J.J. Smith smoothie clean fast, where I'm losing a pound a day and I'm just eating smoothies. So I cut my salt and my sugar out.
Right.
I'm not gonna cut my salt and sugar out all my life. I'm gonna have some playtime.
Right.
So I think balance along with that and being aware of some of the foods that we eat and the toxicity level of a lot of these foods. Flushing our bodies is very key. And I teach that on my platform. I do a nutrition thing on my platform. So I'm on day 65. So that question you're asking, I'm actually doing that. I do my cayenne pepper and my green tea in the morning with my turmeric. And I show, you've seen some of my videos. So to answer your question, to move on to next, I think having a balance of both. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
B-Nut.
Oh.
Did God create the foods that we're eating that's bad? Why do bad foods have pleasurable taste?
What do you mean, bad food?
Do you think God created them?
Like
Yeah,
icing,
because
icing,
God didn't create
cake,
icing.
cake,
God
Yeah.
didn't create
Cake.
bad foods with pleasurable
God
taste.
created food, and we.
God created good foods with pleasurable taste. Because
Right.
things that like
Well, who created the bad food?
We did.
Man creates the food at certain laboratories and things.
But if somebody gets a shirt made from
Yeah.
T-Shirt Kings, just because I didn't personally make it, I still made the shirt though, right?
But if you take,
I don't understand what you're
if it doesn't come from
I mean,
the
if
earth
somebody,
or from a natural source, the God made it.
so if somebody comes in here and gets a shirt that's not right, who's giving them the refund? Even if I didn't personally make it, who's giving them the refund? Who gets the money? Me.
Exactly.
So just because God didn't personally, did he personally create the good food too? What are we talking about?
Yes, he did. By creating the earth and
How?
growing from the earth.
But so the bad food comes from the earth.
No, it doesn't. You can't go get icing out the
Oh, I
earth.
see.
All right, hold on, wait.
God.
Let's just take God out of it, and we're gonna say nature. You know what I'm saying? So
No,
foods that-
I don't want to take God out of it.
We can
Okay,
still
then.
use that though.
Well, we're gonna say nature created that.
Good stuff. But then nature
was
created bad
something
stuff.
because what I'm saying is what's created naturally. There's nothing in nature that you can find that's sweet and poison.
Fruit.
So I think
Grapes.
Hold on. I think
Grapes.
God is talking about
All right, grapes are the best sweet food, and it.
You think it's
watermelon.
bad for you?
No, it's not.
Melons.
Yeah, that's the point.
Well, I'm okay, but I thought that you were saying that sweet foods are poisonous. I'm not talking about
I'm
natural
saying that
foods.
There's nothing in nature that you can find that's sweet and poison.
There's nothing that you can
I
find.
doubt that.
How do you know that?
I wouldn't say that.
It's
How do
probably
you know that,
poisonous
bro?
berries and
Yeah,
stuff, but he's
absolutely.
talking about things that
absolutely
are meant for our
poisonous
consumption.
berries.
You know what you got for me?
Yeah.
So,
Just give me 2 minutes when y'all finish.
Yeah, for sure.
can you please repose the question because we done kind of.
Well, the point that I'm saying is, if you do, so I understand that it's a balance. I think Ruben was right when he said balance it out, right? But to me, a lot of the foods that I like fast foods or like not candy, but like cakes, sweets, whatever it might be, I don't think that it's healthy for you to eat these things. And there's people who go as far as to say never eat this type of stuff. People are stopping wearing deodorant.
I don't wear deodorant,
So,
but not because I'm allergic to it.
but I'm asking though, did God create the things that are not good for us as well?
Absolutely.
No.
He absolutely
I
did
wanna-
great
yeah,
things.
yeah,
Like, okay,
yeah.
Chris, okay, like the Dead Sea. Like, there's so much water that we can't even drink because of the fact that because of the salt concentration. He absolutely made things that are pleasurable. He made things.
I mean, but is the Dead Sea pleasurable to drink?
pleasurable to swim in.
It's not meant for us to drink.
I got you on this one,
But
Ty.
how we know that unless someone try to drink it and they
That's
die?
how we know it.
So I'm saying, so what I'm saying is, so wait. So listen, we can blame processed food on the creation of man. The Dead Sea is a creation of God. So what I'm saying is he makes things that could be potentially pleasurable that can also kill you.
I mean, that's like saying go outside and just gobble up the dirt, gobble up everything. It's certain things put on this earth for our consumption.
For you
certain
to
things
eat.
put on
Right.
this earth
Right.
for just other living things. Everything on this earth is not for us.
But outside of that, God does make dangerous
true.
things. But go ahead, bro.
agree.
I want to hear what
Exactly.
you
That's my
think.
point was that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Thank you.
You guys bringing up
That's one point.
y'all bringing up some good points, but Todd already kind of know framing the question. So okay, so we take a banana. We know that man didn't create the banana. We know the trees and all the fruits and the berries come from this term that they call God, right? Okay. Now the things that are artificially made, all of the compounds or the ingredients come from nature, but there's a process that they're mixing these things
Agreed.
that's artificial.
Yeah.
And they're saying when you do a compound disposition from Mother Nature, then that's going to do something different to your body than what nature will give you. Right? So we create a balance. We're going to play a little bit, but we're going to get back on track.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we're not going to get 100 pounds overweight and keep going to the Thanksgivings and all that and keep putting these toxins in. We're going to put God. So like you got a lot of people that read the Bible, for an example. They're reading the Bible, but there's dietary laws in there that a lot of people skip. There's eating 2 meals a day, going back to the Eat to Live book with Muhammad, right? The Eat to Live. That he didn't get that from, he got that from the book, or he got that from the Torah or the Quran, right? So point I'm making is, if we understand our bodies and we know that our bodies is a flushing system, we need to start doing things to our bodies to flush out some of the toxins. We know this bad stuff that we eat. Look at the Doritos. They have chemicals in some of these cereals that they don't have in other countries. You
Right.
see what I'm saying?
We
So
just
why are
looked
they?
at that.
So
Why
why are
the
they
brown
putting
rice?
all of these things? They want us to continuously to be
Why is
sick.
it allowed?
They want
Why is
America
it
wants us
allowed?
to be sick to make money.
Exactly.
And we've lost a lot of holistic doctors because
of-
anytime you go against status quo, they out to get you.
And the
So-
pharmaceutical
so
companies
wait.
aren't making no
So
money.
wait.
Yeah.
Why would they want us
Yeah.
to be healthy?
So wait.
So if we ate more God foods,
Wait. I ain't because
there won't be that many hospitals.
I like to interject.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like to interject.
Yeah.
So what if?
We're the most unhealthy
So listen,
country.
right? This right here is out the
Most
book of
obese.
Peanut, right?
Yeah.
What if, even though you could, do you think that someone can do something that is evil on the surface but for a greater good?
Yeah, give me an example, and then I can answer that.
You punishing someone
Yeah,
by
that's your
kicking them
first
out of
question.
school because
Basically.
they
Yeah,
did
we
something
just
like they
going-
need
Okay,
to
we
actually
just-
learn
yeah,
to be
yeah.
better
That's a good one,
people after
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, yeah. That's a good.
Well, that's
I
not.
got something to come with though.
I mean, like
about
kicking a
that,
kid
though.
out of school
Yeah.
where like he actually needs to be could be perceived as evil. Like you're saying, like this person who
That's
needs to be
perceived
school-
as a consequence.
So I'm only posing a question, but if something like before I get to my bag, what I'm saying is, do you think that you can do something that can be perceived as evil? Not
Yes.
that it is.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Because everybody perceives
Yes,
things differently.
exactly.
The human
No
brain
matter how good you
is-
do, you could be promoting the church.
And
And
they
not
could
to
be
cut you off.
perceived as evil. I
Exactly,
agree.
Doc.
I agree.
For sure.
So I go on. All I have to say is, what are we looking at on a surface level, saying that the government is killing off all these people by the masses? What if it's for actual good reason?
So this is what I say to that. First of all, I don't think the government is killing off people. I think that our lack of knowledge of food and our one of the 7 deadly sins, gluttony, that's what's killing us off. Because
So you
we
don't
are.
like no sort of effort to kill off people at all.
I do think that if I am running a company, a diabetic company, it would be in my interest to push foods that enhance diabetes. So I do think that certain I do think that the special interest groups are people who give, if he's running for office, a high office where he can vote on a certain thing being banned or not, and I'm that company that sells diabetic strips, medication, all this, it would be in my interest for that company to thrive. So I would fund his campaign. So when that vote comes, he would vote for that. But to say like the government is behind the scenes making up these things, no. But I do think that they have power to vote on certain things and to push certain things, and I think that happens.
All right, so look, I'm gonna give you king or queen for a seat of the world, right? What if you knew for a fact, based off statistical data, that if our population continues to grow at the rate that it is, it's going to kill everybody on this planet? And the only way you can do this is by doing different propaganda tactics in order to lessen how many people are actually living. If you at that point in the queen seat of saying, okay, if we continue this way, my grandkids are all going to be dead, or I make decisions right now that can prevent that from happening by doing something that is perceived to be evil.
Yeah.
Well, I think that there are
You would have
things
to do it.
naturally that happen to control population.
If you
Natural
have to
things
kill
like
off some to
tornadoes, all
save
the.
humanity,
But right
yeah.
now,
You got
that's
to.
not a thing
What
right
you
now.
gotta
It's
do?
too much. It's not a thing right now.
It ain't just for
It's
your
not enough of us.
grandkids.
It's not a
though.
thing.
I mean,
No.
you feel me? Like
I'm
it's for
gonna give you,
everybody.
bro, I'll do it just cut a little.
But I don't think that the government is doing. I don't.
What if they were though?
I don't. I think everything. Me
Not
personally,
if they were, then it would just be like
Then they
fucked up. What could we do?
I think that everything that.
sitting in the chicken coop, wait for whoever they're gonna slaughter next just to keep it down. And
But I mean, if education is power, so if you educate.
that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to.
We can go down the rabbit
Come
hole.
on, only
Population
Yeah,
control
what
is
if
in
this?
a lot
What
of our
if this?
big books
Is
that
like,
we have.
what if?
But
Let's
there's-
talk about how shit really is.
Right. That's
Do
what I'm talking
you
about. Let's
think
talk
in
about
your heart the government is trying to kill off population and doing population control
I would
with
say,
food?
from my understanding of them having regulations over things, you would cringe at the fact of things that are allowed in our water right now on U.S. soil.
Fluoride.
You know what?
More than that.
Let's point to
So,
capitalism. though. That's why all that's happening. When that follow the money.
Back to what I was saying.
It ain't got nothing to do with population control. It got everything to do with money.
What if
they ain't making money for it, they ain't pushing it.
I feel like walk that street me for like just like half a block. What if they were doing that for a good reason, and they really were in charge of that, and they were literally controlling what we eat, even though we see other countries banning these food, we're going to allow it based off us knowing that we got to hit this margin. So I will let all these different things that have chaos theory on this will knock out this percent, and this will knock out this percent, and I got a beautiful pot. Same way they do the draft percentage of who's going where and their shop percentage. They
So
got
is the
everything.
How
government?
much-
I mean,
but how much-
wait. I just wanted to hear the answer to the question. Is the government trying to kill the population? Just yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
And-
You say what you
and-
say, Doc?
In other populations,
I
too.
think
You say no?
This is what I think. I think that we're taking.
Doc.
If
Yes or
in fact
no,
that
though?
no, because it can't possibly be. The government can't control what I eat. I control what I eat. I'm the one that can go to the store and decide what I'm gonna buy and what I'm not gonna buy.
False.
All right,
No,
what you
no,
think,
that's
bro? What
not
you think,
false.
Rube? Hold on, let me hear.
I'm controlling it right now.
Wait, bro, Rube, and he's our guest. I
I'm
at least
sorry.
want to hear
Go
his
ahead.
opinion, man.
Yeah,
I get too
I'm not
high.
trying
I'm
to-
sorry. I get too high.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to take over anything. We
No,
all,
no,
we
no.
all,
No,
we all
I
chopping it up.
want to hear
No,
your
I want to
opinion.
hear what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
no, I
I'm
want to
saying
hear what you're
balance,
saying.
the balance
For
game.
sure.
Yes. William Cooper wrote a book, The Behold a Pale Horse. I think it's page 100 or something. He talks about some of the population control tactics that they have done. So we can find a lot of government tactics. Even in Atlanta, they have
What is it called
the,
again? Behold of it.
Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. He got ambushed twice at his house, and they killed him. He was doing underground lectures. He helped build the B-2 bomber, and he was a Mason, and he started giving some of the secrets. He even put the 33rd degree code on, I forgot what page, I think it's page 101. He puts the 33rd degree oath in his book. So whoever published his book, I don't know if they're alive or not, but he was able to get that book
So,
published.
what was some of the stuff that he was saying
some of the
about
stuff that he was
population
talking
control?
about is here in Georgia, they have what's called the Georgia Guide Stone.
Yes.
And when they found that stone in 1976, it's written in 3 languages,
Yep.
right? And one of the English language is said to decrease the population by so many thousands. You know what I'm saying? So it's written that they have been doing that, and we can see from the foods that we have been eating, right? Even if we grow our own food, even the dirt is compromised
Even
by
the
the
seeds are
chemtrails
compromised.
and things that they've been spraying.
So
You see what I'm
is
saying?
this the work of the devil?
Even the seeds.
So
Is this
yes,
the work of the devil?
Yes, but I mean
So do
population
you
control.
think it's more population control or more?
It's more population control and money. You see, the pharmaceuticals,
how-
the pharmaceuticals are tied with the scientists. The scientists find something, just like farming. The ones that are actually putting those chemicals in that, they know, okay, we're losing money because once you cut something from Mother Earth, it has a shelf life.
Yeah.
So to get to your table within 3 to 5 days, so they can make some money, what they would do is they don't care what's sprayed on there. The FDA don't give a damn about they approve lab meat. They approve
They did, bro.
clone meat.
Clone
Yeah.
meat.
Clone meat.
Right.
Yes, they
so
did,
we
bro.
think this government gives a fuck about. They give
I
a fuck
don't.
about money.
That's what I'm saying.
It's power. They don't give a fuck about you.
I agree.
All of us.
You know what I'm saying? And when you get sick,
Would
we
you
gonna
ever
make
eat
money
clone
off
meat?
of you for the
Would you ever eat
pharmaceutical.
clone
So
meat?
they want us sick. So yeah, they're killing
I
us.
mean,
Yeah.
I
And they
wouldn't-
Yeah,
wanna-
they're killing us.
I think
I
that
wouldn't
it's
know
a
that.
balance between what Peanut and Dr. Huggins is saying. It's both,
Oh,
really,
I agree.
ain't it?
I can agree.
Because with how I think how you broke it down, you said that yes,
Because-
they do have these
Yes.
plans in order
Yes,
for population
it is
control,
written exactly.
and
And
they
memorandum.
care about money. They
How
want to
about-
sell
would
it.
you eat clone meat?
Would I eat clone meat?
We don't know what
You
him
know,
he had.
they-
ate.
they
I
don't
said not
tell you
knowing
what
it.
clone meat.
I said not
You-
knowing it.
Anybody that went to the Chinese spot, you don't know what the hell that
At
McDonald's burgers and all that stuff.
they
is
don't
in.
have to tell you that it's clone
Exactly.
meat when they put it on
They
the
don't
shelf.
have to
You don't
tell
Yeah,
know.
or what kind of
Eat
meat?
clone
This
meat.
beef
Right.
ain't just from
Yeah.
a cow.
Right. See,
But
yeah,
it's
that's
just
bad
it's
shit.
just like
Yeah.
it's just like you know, fentanyl and the
heroin and
heroin, all the pills they was
opioid.
pushing,
The
right? So the
opioid
same
opioids.
company who made the opioids now make the drug to get off of opioids.
Yes, man.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree with what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
these pharmaceutical companies, y'all better get some stock.
All right, so I want to get to a deeper level. I'm only asking that question to go to another level.
Okay.
Why do we have to deal with this with life, man? People poisoning our food. People fucking with us. You always are being. Now, I understand that, yes, there is some thrill of victory to like win over sin. Win over doing things that's like against to what you believe is your higher self. You know, like blocking your blessings.
Yeah.
But these options, man, you know, like when the devil came and asked Eve to eat the apple, did God know that the devil was going to do that before he did it? Did he know Eve was going to accept? Did he know Adam was going to fail?
Yeah.
Do you
That's
think
what
so?
they say.
Do you think
If that is true, then what's the point? What's the point of making this man and this woman in the Garden of Eden having no sin,
Right,
just so you can send this snake to come and she eat the apple? What was the point of doing all that? Just make man and let him sin.
I don't understand the philosophy. I don't understand how it's grounded in life and like just like what are we doing, bro? Like that's and then to like inflict punishment on the people for doing with like acting out the script that you wrote.
I have a question.
I
think-
agree.
I just think
I'll let y'all-
it's really like
I'll go last.
when you do something, just like when you disobey a law of nature. Just look at it like that. When you disobey a law of nature or you go against a law of nature, there's consequences. And so like the laws of the Most High is just basically the laws like the laws of nature. It's consequences. But you can also correct that anytime you have the consciousness that you are on the other side and you want to get back. It's like just like the laws of not like fire. You can stop burning something. You know what I'm saying? You can build on that. You know what I'm saying? You can use that now to either destroy or create. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like any other law. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these laws, and I think we misunderstand it and think that's like just because we sin that we can't. Like it's really all about your heart, your intentions. Like are you a righteous person? Do you want to do right, or do you want to do wrong? You know what I'm saying? And it
But if
comes
you don't
down to
know the
that.
knowledge of good and evil, how would you understand what is right or wrong?
I mean, far as
Like for example, even if you did disobey and eat the apple, you still didn't have knowledge to know that that was evil or not until after you bit it.
I think
So
in
even
that
if you
situation-
disobeyed, you didn't know that it was evil.
in that situation, the disobedience was
It's if the disobedience was a part of the chemistry and the makeup of the man, then you would ultimately have to say, who made this? Sometimes you have to look at a manufacturer to see a defect. The manufacturer, the thing that's created,
I gotta answer.
the thing
how
that's
is it,
created,
why is
the
it a
thing that's
defect though that you
because if
'Cause
you
that
made
defect-
something to do a certain thing and it doesn't do that, so
What do you think God made
what
us
do
to
you
do?
mean? It didn't,
What do you
it
think
didn't-
God made us
that's
to
not
do?
a defect. He made
I don't
you
think
to
they
do
tell
that.
the truth on the Most High. Is my overall point. So I don't want to take away from, like, I just don't think the story of what the Most High does, and I don't think they characterize the Most High according to truth.
Okay.
So this is-
I think it's a
So-
mischaracterization.
So what's your definition of the Most High?
My definition of the Most High is the Creator.
And I want to get back.
and
And I
let's-
want to get back to that
I'll-
too.
I'll-
Y'all can go there.
Because I want to
Good.
say
Right,
something.
go ahead.
So
Yeah.
I think that
I ain't want to cut
I
you
think
off.
that if-
you was right. We-
I think that the fact that the Lord made us, right? And if he made us and he said, I want y'all to be perfect, period,
Mm.
then he wouldn't have given us choice. And I think that God made us and he wants us to strive to be righteous, but also he gives us choice, because if he made us to just do what he say, then I just feel like that would be,
It wouldn't be right.
and here's the other thing. I would not find joy in doing the right thing. I wouldn't find my heart would,
the thrill to win.
yeah,
Over sin.
or yeah, and like this thing where I feel like, ooh, I'm I don't know, it's this kind of feeling.
It feels
like
good
the
to
Most High
make
is
the
within me.
right choice.
It does. And if God did not give us choice, then we'd be walking around here like a video game where he just controlling us. And what is that about?
Oh, okay, right. I understand that. Let me hear what you had to say, bro.
All right, so we talking about. I'm not going to use the terminologies that y'all have chosen. I'm gonna go to science and metaphysics, right?
Okay.
Because we can frame this in a scientific format instead of using a lot of these terms, which terms are cool to readily identify the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go in. Okay, so you have I used to teach a class when I was in the penitentiary, metaphysics, right? So let's do 101. Okay, let's take a car battery, right? The car battery has a negative and a positive, right? If you take that negative off of that battery, the car won't start. If you take the positive off of that battery, the car won't start. Both cells are needed to create that one, right? So that's a principle. Now we can apply that same principle with our bodies, right? We have parasites, going back to what he was saying. We have parasites that eats up. We have cells that die. So we already have an adversarial makeup pre-coded, right? So if we have an inner pre-codedness in us, then there's going to be an outward manifestation of that too. Just like a flower. What's the purpose of a weed? So if you don't cut that weed is going to outgrow the flower, and it's going to take the nutrient vitamins from that flower, and the flower won't grow. So that's why they always say, cut the weeds, or what they say, choke your garden. What they say about your garden, weed your garden. Why are you weeding your garden? Because that weed is going to finally pass up that flower, and the flower is going to die. That's a principle. We don't need no religion. We don't need no books. Our ancestors looked at nature, oral traditions. This is how they was able to develop a lot of the things, the pyramids and all of these things, these sculptures that they erupted and things of that nature, that they still trying to figure out how they made us. We're geniuses. We were in an environment where they tried to tell us that we're not. We're trying to get back to that genius mentality so we can create our own world. It's been corrupted by conquest. You know what I'm saying? It's been corrupted by division. So we're not even speaking our native tongue. We're not even in our natural state in our environment, and we're not eating the foods that properly sustain our bodies. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say we got to create a balance. So when we talk about negative and positive, you can't. How would you know hot water? You have to see cold water. How would you know tall? You have to identify short. So all of these things, one of the universal laws, 7 universal laws, but there's many than 7. But I'll just state one of the 7 universal laws is polarity.
Yeah.
Polarity is one of the universal laws. Everything has an opposite, and the opposite don't mean that that's bad. There's women that's 500 pounds married to an 85 pound man. There's a man that's 900 pounds married to a 70 pound
So do
woman.
you think there's no bad?
I'm
Or do you think
framing.
it's just
It can't.
negative
I'm not.
and
I'm not
can't be.
using.
It can't be.
I'm not using that word.
Yeah, I know.
I'm saying
But I'm
there's
just asking.
always the opposite. And whatever you feel in your own personal mind to call it what you want is whatever it is. I choose not to use the word bad.
But I don't think
I'm
there-
more
I don't think
metaphysic
there is
thinking
no
that there's a
opposite.
contrast.
I don't think there's an opposite.
You see what I'm saying? Because
I
bad
agree.
is subjective. But science ain't subjective.
Because it-
Well, I agree with that.
If we can
Depending
all
on what we're
agree
talking
on the
about.
car battery,
Yeah.
you could be a Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah.
You could be a Jew. You could be if we could come to a common denominator on a principle, we can build from that. If he agrees, because he's had a car, that the negative will come off, it won't start. If he can agree, if you pull that positive off, the car won't start, and it's one cell. If he says, oh yeah, that's real, boom, we can have a scholastic conversation.
But do you think that?
You see what I'm saying?
But do you think that things are more complex than that?
Huh?
I feel like things are more complex. than that.
But you using linguistics when we talk about bad.
no,
bad.
Relative.
Yeah, the
I know
etymology.
that, but what I'm saying
Right.
is,
The etymology of bad is actually good. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, I
it's
do
how we
know
it's
what
how
you're
we
saying, but
it's how we
I-
frame that. I
I
studied
guess-
linguistics, so I'm just saying you use the term bad.
so
Now we have to talk about that.
I guess what I'm
You see what I'm
saying.
saying? Yeah, right.
I guess what I'm saying is, I agree with you to a certain extent. I do think that I think that human nature is more complex than that. And I think that some things, let's say negative, positive, whatever word we want to put in the place of bad.
Yeah.
If you come in my house and my child is 5 and you're 30 and you're putting your hands on my child, I don't care. If you don't perceive that as negative, bad, whatever you want to say, then I think there are also universal things that we agree upon that are whatever word you
And
want
the
to put in the
universe
place of
wants you to
bad.
protect.
Yes.
Your every animal protects their they take I've seen
But I'm
elephants.
just saying, what would you call that?
Huh?
What would you call that?
You will have to deal with that.
No, I guess what I'm saying is
negative.
I'm-
That's
so-
a negative action.
So what I'm saying,
but
what I'm
honestly,
That's a
negative,
negative
bad.
So you
I
want
mean,
me-
all
no,
we're
no,
doing-
no, I'm not saying
all
that.
we're doing is just saying
Yeah, you
another
protecting
word that
yourself.
means the same thing.
Yeah, protecting yourself. Whatever word you want to use
Right.
with protecting yourself, have fun. I'm not caught up in.
But
No,
what
I'm not saying it
Right,
like
right,
that. I'm
right,
just
right.
saying I feel like I'm just saying I
Yeah.
think sometimes
Protect yourself.
human when we go back to what he's saying about eating an apple and good and bad, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call it. I think that
Not
God
that we're
made-
asking, did God know what was going to happen before it happened?
Yes.
and I just feel like humans are
Yes,
just
he
more
did.
complex than yin and the yang and good and the bad. I think there's some gray area.
I know that God knows
Yeah, but see,
all
y'all
things.
using the word God though, so let's do it like this. It's cool because that's what
But
people
we're
identify.
talking about that.
God.
We're saying, but
Yeah.
But we're
Okay,
talking
but what
about
I'm saying-
we're talking about the
What's
story of the.
use?
Well, listen,
but I know what he means.
we're talking about the
but not
story of
really.
the Bible. So
Yeah,
even
right.
though if we
Specifically
think
talking
different,
about
Right.
if if
Right.
we don't adhere to that story being correct,
Because
we're
God
just
never
analyzing
created a
that
Bible.
story right now.
Like if you analyze the 3 pigs, he's analyzing this particular story, whether you think
Yeah.
it is real or not.
Right.
If this is an actual
did God,
story.
did
Yeah,
God
yeah.
know what was going to happen before it happened?
I think the energy of when we look at our brains, right, and we study the structure of our brain, the left hemisphere, right hemisphere. You have the eye of Haru, you have the pineal gland, which is not in the medical books, right? So when we look at this, right, and we see this, it's amazing that we're still learning things about this. This
Right.
computer is run off of them looking at the anatomy of the brain,
Right.
right? So when we look at this brain and we see how it's functioning, wow, we're learning so much as we go. So we're continuously learning things as we go. No
Right.
one has all the answers, but there's so much that has happened to us. We're trying to pick the pieces up, right? They gave us a flawed school system,
Right.
right? They gave us a flawed religious system. When we're understanding as we get older some of the things that wait a minute, hold on,
Right.
this ain't right. And then when we challenge those, there's a problem. But I thought y'all was trying to I thought we were here to try to draw some truths.
Right.
So either you're in an organization just because you want to be a part of something, or are you in here for truth?
Right.
Because if I just busted you
Right.
on one of the things that you said was true, and then I had you agree, why are you
Yes.
still subjecting
Yes.
yourself to this organization? You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You-
But
Yeah,
but to
right.
their defense, everything ain't perfect, and perfect is the enemy.
I don't
of
get what
good.
you're saying.
Hold on, let me get Peanut because I ain't heard from my
Yeah.
brother in a
So
minute.
I also feel like if we look at the government as, let's just
Is
say,
that who we're talking about? Is that what's happening?
Or-
right now?
or-
I'm kind of lost.
whatever council.
So we was
put-
talking about
what-
bad, positive, and
Yeah.
negative.
So
And I was framing it that what happens is
I'm
ordained. It's ordained to happen because that's what happens to our bodies. Our bodies has a thing that against us as well too. So that thing is going to be outside of us as well too. We're going to see it. So the person that came in your house and did that, that's that outer, but it's inner as well too. Whatever.
I understand.
So is
that.
above and so is below, right?
Yeah.
So we see.
But when you said the last thing that you
Yeah.
said, you said something to the effect of, I don't remember the exact word, something to the effect of, if you continue to feed into, like, why would you continue to do this if it's against you? Are you talking about the body?
I'm talking about, I first started talking about balance, right? And the negative and the positive have to have a balance. They both, you know how some religions say that the woman is the weaker vessel?
Yeah.
That's not true, right?
Yeah.
That's not true. That was the
I know
engine.
that.
That was an engineered statement.
I mean, I already knew that.
That was an engineered statement, right? Because I don't know what
I
happened
don't
to
think
me.
there's a weaker. I think that
Yeah.
we're here for each
Yeah, I don't
other.
know. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's like that car battery. You need
But
positive
can
and
But go ahead, Peanut. I'm
The
sorry.
Peanut.
I just wanted
Damn.
to get it clear.
hmm
Bro,
So
the floor is yours.
I want to pose the next question. Right.
Yeah.
All right, there you
And
go.
how do you guys think that the atheists view this? Right. So is it better to be a church going person who adopts all the practices even though you're doing evil, or for someone to be doing God's work even though he's an atheist?
What?
I think this is what I think.
Can you say that again?
Say it one
Yes,
more
he
time.
A person
thinks
that's
he's
doing God's
asking
work,
is it
that's-
better to go to church
Is it
and
better to
be
go
a
to church?
backslider or be an atheist and be doing God's
said
Or
work?
yeah.
like
the
a priest
backslider.
that's raping
But
children.
that's what he's saying. He's saying,
oh,
like,
backslider.
not doing
No,
the things
no.
that God wants you to do, but you're a churchgoer, or
Right.
be an atheist and not believe in God, but be doing His work.
Yeah, be
And-
doing the God's work.
Like,
It's
I would
always
think
better
you
to
would,
do
like
God's
if
work.
you were
Right.
an atheist, I would be saying,
Like
the
being
way
a
you
nurse,
act, I
being a
think you would be
caregiver,
a
being
God.
a person that has a good.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I just think it's always
I got
best
you.
to do God's work.
I think that this is what I think.
Yeah, because a label on this person, like a
Means
label.
nothing.
Now we gotta
yeah, the
ask
label.
what is God's work?
This
Right.
is,
So I was giving an example. So for instance,
Righteousness. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
what is
can
that?
I answer your
What is that?
question? I want to answer
wait,
your
please,
question.
I want to clarify.
Right.
my
We
statement.
gotta get
Okay.
specific.
An atheist who says,
Every
I do
30
not believe,
minutes, we're gonna get deeper.
atheist who says, I do not believe in the presence of God, but they're a caregiver. They are a positive person in the community. They're helping people. They're helping their neighbors. They're doing all these things that are in this book, but he does not categorize that being a derivative of God. And you got someone who is right next there every single Sunday professing the word of God, and he doing BS behind the scenes, but he repenting every single time he do it. He repent right afterwards. He never missed a repentance. Who do you think is a better person in the eyes of God?
So this is what I say. That's a silly question, because duh. Why would we think that? Why would we think that somebody doing evil just because you go to church, you good?
No. He also adopts the principles of the book where they say he has to repent afterward.
Well, he can't be adopting the principle because if you're adopting. Now, I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person.
Me as well.
If you are adopting the principles in any religion, from my understanding, your intention is supposed to be doing good. But you're supposed to recognize that sometimes we all fail, and that's why I repent. But you're not supposed to be saying, I'm going to do this because I know I could go repent and God go, because that's not the way it works.
That's not what that book says. That book
No,
says...
you're reading it wrong, baby.
That book says...
And I'm not a religious person.
Wait.
And I'm not a religious person. But the Bible does not say you can continue to do evil.
Listen. But
Or whatever you define as evil.
Everybody's reading the book wrong because no one has the one divine way of reading it. So I'll tell you right there, there's an offshoot of religion where they say, the churches are packed with them on Sunday, where people feel like they could be in the club shaking ass Saturday, being there Sunday, and all is forgiven. So we're acting like we don't have a basis of people who we know who actually
I didn't
does
say
that.
you didn't.
So
I'm just saying they're
So
wrong.
let's talk carrots then. What I'm saying is, how do you feel about that person who is doing everything bad on Saturday and they repenting on Sunday because a book and they believe and their pastor telling them, as long as you repent on Sunday, you fine. Put some money in this plate and you fine. That person saying, you give me to God. Cool. You got somebody else who says, I don't believe in none of that. But they doing all of the great things in life.
Why would anybody
I'm
say
only answering that question. There's no reason to theorize.
I'm not theorizing. I'm saying, why would anybody say
begging
that
you,
backslider is better? Is a backslider better? Is a backslider? Nobody's going to say that. Everybody's going to say that if you are out here doing good to your fellow man, whether you believe in God or not.
That's simple.
Whether you're believing God or not, if you're doing what they call God's work, why would anybody say that was
there will be.
I'm gonna throw a quick answer.
Okay.
Mine's ain't got to be
Right.
action speaks louder
the
than
words?
words.
That's right.
Okay, but let me say this.
You did all that talking for 30 minutes,
No,
and action speaks louder than
there's
words.
there's an argument to.
I can
Let me counter.
Let me counter it.
Let me counter it. Let me counter it.
No.
But I can say another thing
Yeah.
too. But that's what I'm saying.
I've been respectful.
Can I say something else with it?
Can I please answer what you first said to me? What I'm saying is this. Yes, that is all good in theory. Yes, we all can be right here and saying that, yes, we wouldn't either. But there are people, millions of people who do this practice every single Sunday.
And there are millions of people who smoke
This is
crack.
why.
And wait,
I mean,
and
it's
wait.
This is why I say.
And wait. And they will show up to an atheist meeting full of people who could potentially be doing good in their community and demonizing these people.
Well, that's because
But I just
they're
think
religious
that
and they don't. They,
You have to recognize God
That-
to say that there is no God. So that's just kind of you know what I'm saying, to be an atheist. For you,
But
to
can
say
I
you
argue
don't
from a
believe in-
Christian's
you don't
perspective?
believe in something,
Yes.
you have
Let
to
me
recognize
argue. Let me.
You're gonna be the devil's advocate.
No, I'm gonna argue from a Christian's perspective. If you think that Christ is the devil, like I'm not saying that, but I want to push back with the argument of grace. Okay, because yes, somebody who goes in and recognizes that they represent the Most High, like right. And they go through whatever they go through, but they still find time to acknowledge the Most High. Might be better than somebody that just say like, man, I don't need God and I'm just going to do this, that, and the third. Even though you might be following the principles, I think if you're doing it in a rogue, disrespectful way, that's kind of nasty too.
yeah,
I think that if grace is real and you want to apply for it, you could do it like that as a Christian, but
so
the real answer, hold
Okay,
on.
I'm sorry.
The real answer, honestly, is every time a sinner like takes this pledge and signs the contract to let Christ die for them, and they continue to be terrible and doing like partying the night before or like doing whatever they know that's nasty in their heart, right? They kill Christ again. So you shouldn't even sign a contract to say, yes, I am a Christian and I'm allowing Christ to die for my sins. Because every time you sin, that sacrifice has to be made again to atone for the sin that you just made. So the argument for Christians is to say, I'm applying grace, but what they don't understand is like that what's called grace is, I think it's compounding the sins that they actually do when you couple it with killing Christ plus molestation, killing Christ plus robbing somebody, killing Christ plus going to just not giving a fuck, whatever sin it might be. So that's my take.
I think I think we could come to a common ground if we just say this. I believe in your intentions behind things. So if your intention is to harm, if your intention is to do harm, I don't care if you're an atheist, I don't care if you're a Christian, that's effed up. If your intention is to do good, whatever you constitute good, then I just believe it depends on your
And
intention.
to Peanut's credit, the whole Christian religion, which is the main religion in the world, right? They say if you they don't care if you do shake your ass the night before and then go to church. They say if you don't acknowledge that Jesus died for your sins on the cross, then you're not saved.
Yeah.
So even though somebody could be an atheist, which we all are saying that's a no-brainer, of course it's the atheist who's gonna like be good in God's eyes. All the Christians say no fucking way, you're not going to heaven. That's exactly what he asked.
What I said.
The Christians are saying no way. You're not only are you not going to go to heaven, you're going to burn in hell.
Thank you.
But that's the Christian saying that because that's religion.
But that's most of the people in the world. So while we all sit here and act like what he's saying is crazy, we would have to be saying most of the world who are Christians are participating in some crazy shit.
They are,
That was
in my
point.
opinion.
That was my
They are
whole
because
point.
to me, when you put religion in it, then you are in some ways blocking yourself from receiving and for having communion and having a relationship with God when you put religion in it. So if we're talking about church and religions, to me, that's different than talking about a relationship with the Most High. Because I think the Most High looks at your intention and the Most High looks at you as a person. I think Christians and every other religion put these things in place to control and to keep people, I don't know, out, call this heaven, hell, whatever you want to call it. But I don't, God to me, the relationship that I have with the Lord has nothing to do with religion.
So which circles back to my original point. I'm telling you, I'm a point with this shit. What I'm saying is because what if they are lying in the Bible for a greater good? Same I said with the government. What if they're lying to us for a greater good? Telling you not to eat pork because they know that if they say this, they know like you get prepared or whatever, but it's terrible for you because it's going to kill you. So they'll say that you're not allowed to eat pig. They'll tell you not to eat certain things, like literally telling you whatever it is to say that God said that, but it's only for a greater good.
I don't look at, I can't.
Let me say
answer that.
something. Let me say
'Cause
something.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Okay.
come on.
Can we let's try this. If we can put aside what we think God thinks of us because we don't know, how about we look at what we think about the situation and use our own brains and our discernment to make rational decisions?
There you go.
I want to say that first.
There you go.
Second, I want to do this. Okay, in my book, Mental Incarceration, The Rise and Fall of Western Religions, I'm still working on it because I got to do my field research. A lot of my historians that I've subscribed to encourage me to do my field research, right? So I got to go to Egypt, Mesopotamia. I got to do my field research, right? Okay, so in the book, and this is what I want to frame. Say I pull up in my driveway. I've got a Satan worshiper on the left of me, and I have a Christian on the right of me. I pull up in my driveway. The Satan worshiper comes to my car and says, "Look, man, my baby mama tripping. I need some money, man. I got to get some milk. I got to get some things, man. Let me get $20. I'll pay you back this Friday." Okay. So I pull out $20 and I give it to the Satan worshiper, right? The Christian dude comes out, same thing. "Hey, man, I need to borrow $20. Okay. Give him $20. Friday, I pull up in my driveway. The Satan worshiper dude come off this porch and he pulls up on me and gives me the 20. Say, "Hey, man, I really do appreciate that. You know what I'm going to do? You said you was going out of town. I'm going to water your flowers and I'm going to get your mail. Things that day, man. I really do appreciate that." The Christian dude ain't said nothing. Maybe that was the wrong Friday. Maybe he meant the next Friday. So next Friday come. He out there cutting his grass, ain't said nothing. The next Friday, he ain't said nothing. I stopped the story right there. Martin Luther King said, "I judge the person by the content of their character." I want to frame that. So what do we look at when we look at people? Are we looking at these titles? And one of the things that I said in one of my my conversations that I have every day, and I do my Sunday lesson, Black History Sunday lesson. One of the things that I said that we need to get rid of these titles because these titles is one of the things that's keeping us separated.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Because
agree.
this old grandma is going to say, if your church don't say Christ King, you going to hell. We still have people with that ideology and that mindset, right? So when I look at this Christian that didn't give me my
Like, no
$5,
play.
$20, and I didn't give and the Satan worshiper, I gave him 20 and he gave me my money. What do we look at? Do we look at people's titles, or we should look at how people treat us as an individual? And if we can do that and put these titles aside, and we could take these religions, because religion means to bind, and even though you may see some things that you don't agree with, people still roll with certain religions, even though they see some things in it, or the fear, how their parents or anybody gonna view them. And are you rolling with you, or are you rolling with somebody else? Michael Jackson always said it's the man in the mirror. So if we can put the titles aside and get a common denominator. Let me tell you what happened with the Haitian Revolution. The Haitian Revolution was very vital because everybody in the Haitian Revolution didn't agree. They didn't have the same beliefs, but they had a body politic. They did not want slavery in Haiti. So they fought the Persians, the French, the Dutch for 14 years, and they was kicking their ass. Later, they ended up having to pay the reparations to France and some of those other countries that wanted to make slavery into Haiti. So the point I'm making is they had a body politic. We do not want slavery. So it's hard to get people to put these titles away and let's come together. We can do Black Wall Street again. But we have too much division within each other, and we don't trust each other. That's one of the things, and one of the reasons why is because the white dude hooked my car real good. I
You
did the
think
brother
that's the
do
reason
it.
why we can't do Black Wall Street again?
I think enough of us trust each other.
I do too. I think that the
You
reason
can't trust anybody,
Yeah.
everybody, but you
Yeah.
can trust. But you
And
trust.
one
I
of the-
trust you guys.
Yeah, but one of the
know
reasons
what I'm
why
saying?
we don't
Like,
want to do it
We
too
can
is
fuck
because
around
of
and do a
fear.
Black Main Street.
well,
Miss
fear
Yeah.
of what though?
Fear
Really?
because they
Real
see what
shit.
happened to our other
That's
ancestors.
right.
But that's
that
so
happened.
terrible.
They
I
can't,
hate
hey,
when-
you know,
I hate
you
when
know,
they
we was
talk
kicking
like
their
that,
ass.
though, bro.
No,
We was kicking
in
their
every
ass at
aspect.
Black Wall Street,
More
and then
than
they
that.
start bombing. Those black soldiers just came from
But
war.
can we do it again though, without them
Yes.
bombing? Yes, of
I don't
course.
know
So
that.
I
What I'm
don't-
saying
I don't
is-
I don't
think we
think so.
should.
Well, so wait,
No,
I don't.
Yeah,
I think in
yeah.
every aspect. Listen,
I think one of them
I
is
think
fear.
that us being in this system that was designed to oppress a certain group of people, for us to sit here and I think every time we try or every time we're doing it, something happens. Right now in our country, I know that we're making leeway and we're making pass because now they're literally turning back the hands of times with our laws, taking away certain things. You know why? Because the system was not set us for us to prosper. So I think in order for us,
Hey,
But
something
that's
about-
why you
I think-
always bringing up old shit? That's old
it's
shit.
now shit. It ain't
I
old.
think
That's
black
now
man,
shit.
black people destroyed Trotwood though, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
No, we did.
Man,
Shit.
You ain't gonna blame nothing on my people.
before we get too far, I want to say that I refute.
Coming to the mall
So wait. I refute.
in the movie theater.
I refuse-
Let me hear you, Pete.
I refute what she's saying and saying that Black Wall Street cannot exist again.
I didn't say that.
No, I want to talk.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But what I'm saying is, but it's kind of true because nothing is going to last in its old capacity. I feel like you can have a digital Black Wall Street nowadays, and so there are ways of still creating it, but it will never exist in its first form of it. It's like asking for the very first T model
point.
car, right?
Good point.
That car has no use right now in the current climate, right? And we talking about all the malls being closed down. So that whole brick and mortar piece of it being a Black Wall Street, and again, if it's digital, then they can't bomb it.
It's an affluent
Yeah,
black
it can.
community.
They
Like
can-
that's
they
all.
can.
That's what it is. And it's a black
It's a
community.
black community.
It's a black community that's
Yeah.
affluent that's all getting
Yeah.
money. And
Yeah.
that's why I brought up Trotwood because black people had a great neighborhood. I think that most of the people that was living in Trotwood
Well, what
was
happened?
like more professional. I don't know what happened. And it could have been the government that came in and crashed it, but I didn't see
I don't know either.
planes
I'm just
bombing it.
saying.
I didn't.
We
Man,
should
and
research
we-
that. We
hold
should
on. Let me
research
talk
that.
about this.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
niggas be doing some bullshit.
Redlining don't
Hold
need,
on, bro.
Don't need no.
I ain't, and I'm not trying to
Right.
say.
Red line
Listen,
don't need bombs.
listen
Yeah.
to me. I'm not trying to say.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say other nationalities don't do bullshit too. So I ain't even trying to say that. But right now I'm about to talk about
I don't
what
wanna hear this.
niggas do. Listen though. Somebody threw a damn seat from their car out in my parking lot today. They took a seat of trash, and threw it like right in the middle of my driveway.
You saw who did it?
No, I didn't.
A pile of trash.
Bro, check game. No, hold on. Let me tell you. My back parking lot. The city wrote a letter because it was so fucked up outside. Somebody came and just dumped trash, and it scattered all around my fence line everywhere. And this happened like over a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So I had all of this stuff cleaned up yesterday. I'm leaving out of my store yesterday, and I see like 3 or 4 cars outside. Some niggas out there kicking it. Some girls. They had like a gang of kids too.
Today when we pulled up.
Well, this was today. Hold on, check game. This was yesterday. I had just had my whole parking lot cleaned up. As soon as I come back this morning, trash littered in the parking lot from them who came yesterday. So they was out there again today. So I went and had to tell them, you guys, hey, the city will find me if my parking lot is dirty. You please don't throw bottles and stuff down here. You know, it was the
whole
same
dump
kid
shit right there. Anyway.
But the problem is, why would I have to tell you some shit like that?
So why you got to blame that on all the niggas though? Why you just can't blame that on them?
Because this is the problem.
I do blame all niggas.
I'm gonna tell you, this is the problem that I have.
Right.
This is the problem that I have with my people. This is the problem I have with my people.
I blame all white people a lot of times too. When
But all I'm
shit.
saying is this: we come from a family of.
Man. So, are you trying to tell me like you don't think that niggas got like we're not tapped into not littering sometimes, bro. Like I be seeing that shit. Like I done had to check the fuck out of people, bro, a few times. Like littering is terrible, bro. And they litter here enough.
Yeah.
To know, and I don't see that shit when I go to other communities. The shit is more prevalent in the black community. Litter.
It's reasons for that though. It is reasons.
People wouldn't even live in those other communities.
Hold on for a second. Hold on. Because
There's a reason.
Niggas better by being constructive criticism to him. Like, why we gotta make an excuse for a grown nigga? Like he's a fucking baby or something. Like, the poor little nigga doesn't got power enough to fucking know.
Sitting next to you right now. Hold on for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me be clear. I was born in South Dakota. I grew up around white people all my life. Guess what? Same shit with them white folks is the same shit I see over here. I know you're not comparing, but this is the problem that I have with us. We expect us.
I already said other people be doing
I know
some
that.
bullshit, but I wasn't talking about the niggas.
I am. I'm about to. The one sitting next to me. I'm just playing.
I am a nigga. I understand that.
So this is what I'm saying to you.
I mean,
this is what I'm saying to you. In our community,
nigga, nigga. Man, my name, all right, Kanaga means king.
Niger was
in the
river.
language, I created a language, and Kanaga means king.
Words.
All right, so go ahead.
Nigga, Niger.
I said niggas be doing.
But hold on, I'm gonna say this to you. Hold on, Peanut. Hold on.
Right.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you this.
I'm gonna be clear. I disagree with all y'all.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I come from a big family, 10 of us. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. I do not expect my people to only be good. When my people do something bad, I'm going to call them out. But what I'm not going to do,
it says all of them.
I'm not going to put us all in a box. And let me tell you this. Part of the reason why, I'm just saying this, it gets on my nerves when we talk about us is because, and I know you're not talking about other people, but we will go to a black establishment and they will be at Third Perk. I was working downtown. Somebody went to Third Perk. They came back to the office and said, that's why I don't go to black businesses because she was out of creamer.
Yeah,
that's why I don't go to black business. Right. Girl, shut up. Because you stay going to McDonald's and they stay out of ice cream.
Exactly.
And nobody says that's why I don't go to white business.
Right.
So my problem that I have is I want you to say these people around me, this woman and all her kids out here throwing out trash. I'm about to kick her out of my thing because she ain't shit. But when we say,
but it's been
put it
more
on
than-
our community,
but that's
I
what
know that.
I talked about. And listen, no, hold on. Let me tell you why I'm saying it, because it has more depth. This is something that I always go through. Niggas dump chicken on my fucking lot.
Talk about my
Niggas do bullshit. These
I
are niggas
understand.
that fucking come and will try to roll a fucking blunt in my store just because I'm a black business. And freak a fucking black while they're like, stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the niggas that I see on a regular. I fuck with them.
Yeah.
I talk back. We kick it. I understand who they are.
And you got cameras, so you
niggas.
know it's them.
Yes.
Yeah, you see them.
It's
Yeah.
I
niggas that do
understand
this
that,
shit.
but I'm just saying when
Yeah.
we put this, what I'm telling
It's not
you
all
is,
black people.
I didn't-
But it's
come
it's
on
not,
now,
it's not all
because
black
when
people.
when
Because I'm black and I hate it. So therefore, it can't be all. And there's other
I just
people,
don't-
plenty more people that's on
you
my
ain't never
level.
seen no white person roll
I,
up in your
listen, I
parking
live
lot?
by I stay cleaning up my back alley every day, and
Yeah.
guess who it is?
I've
The people
never-
who live across from me, and they're not white. So I understand
Bro,
what he's saying.
white
but what
people
I'm
do
saying
disgusting
is,
bullshit,
what I'm saying
breaking
is
your
we,
fucking car, they'll do
as a
everything.
people,
What are you
continue
saying?
to put ourselves in a box.
But I'm
and we
talking
continue
about,
to perpetuate
I'm doing self-care right
the
now.
characteristics of our oppression, which is calling us out, but we don't ever get on blast and call them out.
Why can't we recognize the fucked up shit that
We
niggas
do. I just
Can I
recognize
tell y'all
it.
why I disagree with both of y'all?
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
hey.
come on, I want to hear.
It's because of this, man. Listen, I understand that, for instance, what he stated right there was a personal problem he had. Like a personal problem he had, and he put it
That's right.
on a national
That's
level,
right. That's
That's one why I disagree with you.
thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I
Number
agree
two
with
is
that.
this.
But I'm
This trash
letting
gonna
you
go
off.
viral, man. Come on, man.
Number two is
All right, they
this.
gonna
This
quit
bone's about to go viral, man.
I wanted to write
Was
a
it
Facebook post.
Popeyes or
No, I
Lee's?
feel you though, because that's my back.
See,
That's my back.
KFC.
I feel you because that's my back alley. I
Right.
stay back there cleaning up the shit from my neighbors.
Anybody out there
I
eat
feel you.
KFC, stay away
Niggas,
from
bro.
top.
But I'm not gonna get on the national
Quit throwing
blog.
shit in
Go
the
ahead,
parking
sorry,
lot.
Peanut. I'm sorry.
So listen, oh my God. So the reason why I disagree with the whole panel is this because what y'all are stating is like taking a cup, going to the ocean, and scooping up and saying, yes, these are all niggas. There's so many different taste palettes.
like saying this is the ocean.
Yes, there's the ocean inside my cup. No, bro. There are more people that are black, melanated people doing positive things and doing great things that
Yes.
outweighs that small, minute problem or situation that we face on a day-to-day basis. Because we all say, okay, damn, man, you know, so like,
Says who? Says who?
says the
It
book of
is.
Peanut,
So you mean to tell me it's some good, like,
yeah,
that
great,
is good?
great black.
It's
I agree.
Okay, so-
What?
so-
It's a great black.
It's not.
Exceptional black.
It's not.
Exceptional black.
It's a whole bunch of exceptional blacks right here.
Well, count me,
Hava,
count me
Hava.
out. Count me
You
out.
don't feel
Hava,
like
look,
you're exceptional.
look. Have a look. So
Compared to who?
I promise I wouldn't be on this
in
podcast
businesses,
every week
right?
if I
In
wanted to.
businesses, they track the traffic to see what good area is there for whatever business that you in. They track it, right?
Who was
Oh.
this day you speak of?
Well,
Because
when
it makes a difference.
when you do a survey of the area, you want to do the traffic to see how much traffic there is. if you start
Okay,
a
okay.
business.
Okay, I hear what you're
Right,
saying.
right.
Literal
Demographic.
traffic.
Yeah,
literal
It's a
traffic.
demographic, right?
Sure.
Right. So of course, Main Street is going to have a lot more traffic than this side road here, right? And then there's a light, which is cool because they're going to stop and they're going to look left, and then they're going to look right, and they're going to see T-shirt King.
For sure.
So when you look at the demographic, okay, so let's just say to his point and what he brought up, there's 100 people within a minute pass up right here, and out of those 100, let's say there's 85 black people in that 100,
Yeah.
right? And he's saying there's more blacks that won't put chicken on his step than the niggas that will,
Right.
right? I agree with that.
I agree with that too.
You see what I'm saying?
Because if
So
everybody
he's
dropped this
speaking
one
as
piece
perspective
chicken, you'll
of the
have a
one
lot.
that,
Hey, hold on, wait a minute. Just because they,
Yeah.
just because they don't, just because they didn't, don't mean they won't.
right?
What the fuck going on?
Hey, I'll dap you for you, man. You can't reach you. 'Cause you can't reach you. Yeah.
Yeah. Shit.
But
Man,
way more exceptional blacks out there.
I feel you though. I feel you.
Okay, so I have
So
that.
what do we do? Can we ask what do you do
Well,
about
let
that?
me tell you. Let me
Okay.
tell you how I know that niggas just because they haven't yet, they might later. Because when the fucking chair was sitting in my parking lot, that took the cake. I'm like, what am I supposed to be learning from this? But anyway,
You sound like me the other day.
every second that I don't pick up the trash that another nigga drops, I become the nigga that dropped it.
So you
And
want to
I fucking don't just go and pick that shit up every time. So what I'm telling you is, even the nigga that complains may or may not litter because
There's one good place
it's the
to
same
litter.
thing. If you don't pick it up, I think that it's almost the same thing as littering yourself.
There's one good place to litter in the world.
The trash.
No, the highway, because they let niggas out to clean it up.
Oh my god.
That's
man,
fucked up.
sad.
Why did they let them out?
That's sad.
You're doing a good service by littering. That's what you're
Yes,
trying to say.
that's the
No,
only
what he's
good
Oh,
saying,
okay.
what you're trying
Okay,
to
yeah,
say
yeah,
is that
yeah.
only black people are incarcerated.
That's pretty
If that's
good.
what you're saying,
They get a
let's
chance to
define
get
nigga
out.
here.
They get a
Can you
chance to
define
get out
nigga?
that cell. They
If
get a
it's
chance to
no
get
dirt,
out.
if there's nothing on the highway, they
Can
wouldn't let them out.
you
There you
define
go,
nigga?
Peanut. Wait,
Can you define what a nigga is?
Nigga was just a group of people. I wasn't saying black on
Okay,
white because it's
all
white
right.
niggas too.
Just
I'm
making
saying
sure.
it's just a quantity
Is
of
it?
people.
Is it white niggas?
Absolutely.
So
bro.
now what that
If
means
you define
is,
nigga as
so
an
what that
ignorant
means
person,
is,
yes.
no, is it white people willing to say they're a nigga?
we going
Yes.
there.
Willing to call themselves
Yeah, until
Yes, of course
what?
it
What are
is.
you
What are you
talking
talking about?
in public?
On
Yes,
TikTok,
in
Around
public.
other people.
on TikTok, you can
In
see
front of
them doing
me.
it, bro.
Yes.
Two white
yeah,
What
you
you
know
saying?
why then? Because
Hey.
they're never going to be considered that by the people who
But
find us.
but
so they
and-
don't
and white
know.
kids fight
truthfully,
it.
truthfully,
Those
can
are
a white
niggas
fight.
can a white person be a nigga
Yes.
to you, Doc?
Yes, because I don't define nigga by color. I define nigga by ignorance.
And those are the real.
Nigga is ignorance.
Bro,
Yes.
there be two white
Nigga
dudes
shit.
on there fighting each
That's
other.
nigga shit that they
Says
put that
who?
in my brain. I don't just go around calling everybody the N word. I don't. I don't be like I'm going on this.
But you
podcast.
understand it.
I do, but I don't define it.
But
like
if you hear your students talking like that to each other, do you think that they're ignorant for saying it?
I do, and I correct them, and I tell them don't say that word here. We
But
not
why
doing
does it have to be ignorant though? That's the definition that you're putting on something that they're not even saying. Like they're
Well,
almost
guess
speaking
what?
a
The
different
N-word-
language from you.
that. They are speaking a different language than me.
So it's not ignorant then.
What you walk
So
up
I'm
and
gonna say
y'all
no.
niggas
I'm
You
gonna
have
say
to judge it according to intent, like you said.
well. Okay, let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. I was saying ignorant in the slang way, not ignorant in its purest definition, meaning not knowing. I was saying ignorant and stupid. You being ignorant, quit doing that dumb shit kind of way. That's what
So
the
what-
way in
so
which
what
I was
it-
using.
So
ignorant.
what is a nigger?
So in my opinion,
Nigger, damn.
Oh shit, boy.
but that's what it is.
Nigga.
When you say that, it's just that's the same. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's be
So we can do
clear.
both.
Which
Let's
one?
do,
What's
let's
the
do both.
What's the difference? What's the
Let's do both.
Because the difference between
What's the
Right.
difference?
Ain't
What's
no
the
difference.
because the difference between mother and motherfucker. Like that's
That's
what
the
I'm
difference.
telling you.
That's
what's the difference?
That's like saying brother and brother. Can we say brother and brother? No, it's not. No, it's
I
not.
don't know. I
No.
don't know. Mother,
Mother and mother.
what's the difference between
Nigger
nigga?
and nigga.
Yeah.
Oh, the difference is
Mother and motherfucker.
nigga is what two bros say amongst each other as for a term of endearment.
But you didn't say that as a term of endearment just now.
Yeah, it is because
You
I
endear
understand.
those people who throwing them chicken bones in your thing.
Absolutely. I talked to him today. What are you saying? I went
It
out,
sounded like to me you was using it in a
but I
negative.
did not come at them. I did not. Yes, I think of them as being a nigga, like I said myself. But I did not go out to the parking lot and disrespect them and try to take out everything that I've been going through with other people littering on them. I told them and explained to them why I didn't want them to litter, and I said it in a non-disrespectful way.
Yeah.
Because I respect them.
Yeah.
I came at them with the right amount of respect. So just because you
But did you
a
call
nigga,
it?
don't mean
Did you
I
say niggas quit
disrespect
throwing
you.
this stuff out here? Because if you did, I feel like they would feel like you was being disrespectful.
That's true.
Because
That's
that
true.
word is
That's true. I mean, you're absolutely
So
right.
what about
But if I
nigger?
would have came and said, "What's up, my nigga? How y'all doing, bro? Hey,
Right.
y'all cannot throw no trash out here in the parking lot because the city is gonna find me, and it looks terrible. man. Like I can't do
And look,
it."
he also could have said, because the city gonna find me, and them niggas be taking all my money, and it could be all white people. See, so
I'm asking, but how do you define it?
I wouldn't have said. Referring to the government. Not referring to the government.
See, I have a love-hate relationship. Most of it is hate
Damn.
with the word. With the word, N-word.
Oh,
Because I think most of the times that I hear it in the world today, or society today, or the people I'm around today, however you want to say it, I hear it in a negative connotative meaning. When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s,
394 people came through
Damn,
there.
bro,
That
you
was
on TikTok?
Man,
You got-
they said it live ended.
Because they banning niggas is what they said.
Hey, do you have an iPhone charger? You got an iPhone charger?
I'm not doing this for child.
If not, I got one in the car.
Let niggas shoot. Let niggas shoot.
I don't know. I just feel like when we first started calling it this term of endearment,
It came
that
from
maybe
memes.
you know what I'm saying, it was going toward that. But I think in 2024, yeah, I feel like it's taking on a more negative connotative meaning when I hear it amongst my students. Like, I'll never hear my students. They don't come in and be like, "What's up, my nigga?" They be like, "What up, bruh?"
What?
They only use the N-word when they
Get mad.
when they get mad or when they're
Yes,
using
sir.
it in negative. Most of them don't
I
use
normally
it.
don't say it.
I think that one of my niggas was a thing when I was younger in high school, but now I don't.
What
I
if
hear
you-
him say bruh more.
What if you was born in Niger? Can you call your, you know what I mean?
I'm not doing it.
Niger.
Talking about Niger River.
Yeah.
Um,
Somebody that's born in Nigeria,
that's interesting.
Bro,
Those are two
there's a
different
Niger,
words,
N-I-G-E-R.
but those are different
but the
words.
root is the same though.
Well,
Keeping it real.
But
like
listen,
Niger,
the word, but
nigger,
let's
they
talk
calling
about
it.
the where the
Yeah,
N-word.
bro.
Let's talk about where nigger came from.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't come from nobody was trying to be cool. It came from something that was meant to let us feel like we were lesser than. Now, when you put Niger, Negra, the black,
well, we're talking about the earlier terms before we get
I
to
know-
the term.
well, I get that, but
Right, because
in the
when the
context of
Europeans were in that land, Niger, it was a Niger River. They call us Nagas, N-E-G-U-S,
Yeah.
right?
You niggas on that river.
When
We
they
talk
when
about
they
what they
when they
use in
but when
here,
they
though?
use that term, then they ruled us as kings.
Yeah.
It had a positive connotation.
Yeah, see?
It later became a negative connotation
I
when
know
they
that.
engineered us,
Mm-hmm.
and like the Willie Lynch letter.
Yeah, dog.
That was a
I know that. I'm
that was
saying
a
in
psychological
2024.
damage.
I'm not talking about. Listen, words
Yeah.
take on different meanings throughout
Right.
history. We could do that with this
Right.
word and other
Yeah.
words also. I'm talking about how it's used right now,
But
not how it's
1712.
used back then. Because
Yeah.
right now it's not. They didn't use it back during
That's about a
slavery,
word.
bruh. We could take a whole bunch of words and talk about how they used to have positive connotative meanings. No
Right.
shade.
And I'm saying
what
that
I'm
they
saying
switched.
is right
You
now.
didn't know the
No,
example.
Right,
what I'm saying is right now.
Bitch.
and that makes it slang. It's connotative
That's an
linguistics.
No, I
Um,
understand. I'm an English
etymology.
major.
Why is that though? Why are women allowed to call each other?
I don't do that either.
You don't do that, but
Don't call me
women do that though.
They do.
They call
Same
each
reason
other
why black
bees.
people could call each other N-word.
But I don't hear
That's
the I don't
the
hear the
same thing. That's the
pushback
same
though.
thing.
I don't hear the pushback on women calling each other
Because you
bitches.
Thank you, man.
ain't, you got to be around the right women.
I'll read for another one.
Because my sister will tell you in a second she don't play like that. My other sister don't play like. Only one of my sisters call her and her friends the B word. My older sister don't say it. I don't say it, and neither does my sister right by me.
But when okay,
So
but
it
when
depends on who
when
you're
you
around.
when you hear
Women,
when you hear two women say it to each other, do you feel like it's the same negative impact that when two black people
Yes,
call
I
each
do.
other nigga?
I do. I feel like I talk to them like, listen, I don't feel like I should be saying that, and I'll be like, don't say that to me. I don't play like that.
I got a question for you. What is something like you find commonplace that, like you were saying, and it's someone that's not even, well, I guess the woman to woman will be y'all derivatives or where y'all have correlation.
Hold on, wait.
Wait.
Ho, we can say ho.
But wait, imagine someone from a different culture coming to you telling you something that you cannot do. Such as a white person telling you saying, hey, you shouldn't have dreads. But it's something that you culturally appropriate to yourself that you and your community agree upon, and this being something positive. You have someone that's from the culture telling you you should not do that. How would you view that?
I don't understand your question.
I'm connecting the whole nigga word, right? Between
I know, don't connect it. Just repeat your question.
So what I'm saying is, how would you feel if someone from a different community, like a different demographic from you, telling you what you should not do within your community or your space or your
Within her culture.
yes,
Just you personally.
You
just
personally.
you. What you like to do.
how would you feel if someone that's not even connected to telling you what you should,
No.
can do, or act, say, or whatever?
I would have a conversation. I would always have a conversation. I want to see what's the reason behind that. Because listen, no, real talk. Because I'm a growing person and I'm still learning at the age of 42.
Teachers
So-
are different ethnicities and they tell us stuff.
Yeah, I'm an educator, so I always got to see why are you saying that, and if it has validity, I'm like, damn, well maybe I should quit doing that.
So
But not dreads, not that simple thing like
you
dreads.
ain't got no fuck out my face in you at all. Everything is a full conversation. You ain't got no fuck out of here to no different. People get to talk to you about anything, and you be okay with it. There's no
It
fuck out
depends
of
on
here.
how they're coming at me.
So I want to say that.
And that's what it depends on. It
Even
depends
in a
on the.
polite way, if somebody tell you to do
No,
something,
I'm
and
talking about like
you can
Karen.
do it, you still tell them to get the fuck
What
out
if
your
Karen-
Like what?
No,
Like
I'm
what?
asking
What can
like-
somebody say to me that would make me say, "Get the fuck out of my
Karen
face"?
walking up to you talking about how you should be governing your kids and some wild shit like that. You're going to immediately be like, "Get the fuck out of here! I know what the fuck I'm doing."
I would just look.
I'm
at
only
it.
marrying the two between the nigga word and what you're saying is people should not use it in the third. No, like
Well, what I'm telling
between
you.
me and my bros is a different demographic than you have with you and the
First
whole.
of all, let's be clear here. I don't care what y'all say. I'm saying I don't use it that way. When I'm around women, I'm gonna tell them why. Don't listen. Say what y'all want to say to each other, but don't say it to me.
But you also lend those advice to your students.
I know. First of all, when I talk to my students, I try not to be biased when I talk to them. Anybody who's ever been around me, I try to say, listen, how would you feel if this young man came up here calling you the B word? And they tell me, and I'm gonna say, well, I feel like you could do what you want to do, but I think you should understand that when you guys are sitting here calling each other this word, that it's giving them permission to do that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying you should think about that. I try not to tell my students how to be or how to feel because I want them to be thinkers for themselves.
It's not all the way giving them permission, but I see what you're saying now.
It's not all the way giving them permission. I just feel like, I don't know. With those two words, now, I'm going to just tell you, those are the only two words that I feel this strongly about. I'm going to just tell you that. It's other, you know what I'm saying? It's other things that, you know.
You got to think about your position of power and what you have over other people.
I do. I'm very conscious of that.
Hey, hold
That's
on,
why I
okay,
try
okay,
not to
hold
push
on.
my
Have y'all
feelings
noticed
off.
this? Have y'all noticed this? That black people get offended when white people say shit about them that's not true. But why do we give it credibility? So, for example, if a white person calls a black man a monkey or some shit like that, we like, oh, why you say that?
Like, share more common traits of the monkey
'Cause
than
it's-
we do.
And then
So why
what?
do we, I feel
Say
like
the
we
other
give
part.
it. I feel
Yeah.
like we give it more credibility than because if like a black person called a white person a monkey, they would just be like,
You want me to tell you why?
I don't
Because
know,
I'm going to tell you
not a
why.
monkey.
From my opinion.
It's like calling me a tiger or fucking any animal. If I call a nigga any other animal, he don't get mad. But when you say
I'm going to tell
monkey,
you why, though.
Gorilla, though. What if you call him a gorilla?
That's the same thing. It's a reason
Right.
behind it, though. The reason, if you know history, the reason is when there are images put out about black men, because particularly black men being monkeys and gorillas, when there are images put out about our culture and particularly black men, then when those things come up to play, you're not mad because they called you a tiger because they didn't use the image of a tiger to paint you as a savage or dumb or less than. They used the image of a monkey and a gorilla to say, they're pretty smart, but they're just like these monkeys. You think they cool, you think they're smart, but they don't have that much intelligence. That's why it's a problem when people, and let me be clear, I think that when a white person is being disrespectful to you, period. I don't care if he calling you a monkey, whatever he calling you, anybody being disrespectful to you, period. You're not giving them credibility. You're just saying, who you talking to?
But
if a black person calls another black person a monkey, we won't be offended.
I think that identifies where
So that's
their
the
same
term-
thing
where
as the
their
N-word.
term
That's your
comes
point.
from.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
your
same thing as
point.
the N-word.
No way. Have we actually looked at a monkey and see the common trait between black or white people? They got thin lips. They super hairy. Like
My brother Harry.
they can catch light.
What's that
Super
skin
if-
color?
White.
If a white person call you a gorilla or a monkey or something, it's just
Don't do
basically
it.
telling you
Don't do that.
that they are racist.
What
They got
color are
light.
monkeys, bro?
Look at their lips.
They're all different
Real
colors.
thin little white lips.
I think we're getting all
Look at
silly
Bubbles.
now.
No,
Look at
I'm just
Bubbles.
asking.
Because he said they are.
Who's Bubbles?
Bubbles with Michael Jackson. He had the white lips, thin white lips, hairy. He can catch lice. Black people can't catch lice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why do okay? But I think Dr. Huggins answered the question of why black because
So
of
what's
the
up with these
imagery.
18-year-olds carrying guns now? What you was saying
Right.
about that?
No,
Yes, no,
y'all
look
brought
that
up that.
Yes,
But that's real though. Yeah, what's going on?
You can have a license to carry now as an 18-year-old.
In Louisiana.
Here too in Ohio.
In Ohio.
In Ohio now?
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah, not everybody though.
What?
I mean, they gotta
What
do
do you gotta
background
do?
checks
If
and
you
all
got
that.
certain felonies,
Yeah.
they haven't
As an
changed.
18-year-old,
By the time you
what
get
kind of
18,
There's
felonies
a
you have?
higher
yeah,
revised
you don't
code
got
don't
no
even have
felony.
that
felonies.
stipulates certain people to get expungements than others. So, like, I'm classified. They haven't.
But when you were
I can't.
18, like when you were
Yeah.
18, if you had a felony at 13, I don't know if that's possible, but if you had a felony at 13, when you turned 18, could you get a gun?
The new laws now,
I'm just
or
asking.
when I caught my case.
Well, the new
The
law
new law
now
now.
says you could be 18, but what I guess what I'm
Oh.
asking is, does that so-called sealed? Because I guess supposedly your record's supposed to be sealed when you're young. So if you was 13, had a felony, and you didn't do nothing at 14, 15, 16, 17, when you turn 18, is that wiped away? Can you get a gun?
If the laws are changed.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know.
If the laws are changed.
So I guess the point is when you're 18.
And I'm gonna look at the records again to see, because I always check it like once a year to see if I'm eligible, because they got me up under a certain classification.
But did you have if you don't mind me asking, did you have a felony before when you was under 18 or after 18?
No, I was 24.
So I guess the
when I
question
caught my-
is,
when I caught my case.
why are we allowing 18-year-olds to get a gun?
Or do you think that'll help or hurt the
Because-
community?
Hurt because you're not your brain ain't even fully developed. You carrying this gun, like I teach them. You at the high school.
Right, because at
That's
this
that's
point
an
right now,
irresponsible thing to
a
do.
gun is having a gun is basically to kill another person. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody going hunting out here.
Right.
Nobody really going target practice. You don't even need a AK to go target practice. You know what I'm saying? So nobody shooting guns for a sport. So if you carrying a gun, it's just to kill a person. So why would you want to give an 18-year-old that
I
type
don't-
of power?
So think about this. Think about this. Think about when you turn 18. Not only can you have a gun, you register to say I have this. I got a license to carry. So think about now, all the 18-year-olds with guns getting pulled over when they look you up and say you have a license to carry. You think I'm gonna encourage my 18-year-old young black man, women too though. I only got boys though, to get. Like you 18, son, you can get a license to carry to protect yourself. So as soon as he get pulled over, they're already ready because they already know you got a gun and you 18. Nah,
Right.
nah. The setup is real.
Yeah, laws don't never
Do
make
sound
things
like a
right.
setup,
Just because
though.
it's a law, that
I
don't make it
agree.
right or
I
right.
It do
agree.
sound
Right.
like everybody
Slavery
started shooting
at one time was
18-year-olds.
right.
I have a question.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I have a question. So, if we're looking at this thing from something that could potentially happen, such as, let's say, we get into it with the government, right? Would you want your 18-year-old being able to already know how to shoot and be ready in case to also help you defend your home?
Well, he can. He just doesn't have to have a license.
Right.
My
Why
son,
would you
I can
need
take
to-
my kids
Okay.
to the gun range right now. I can have 5 guns in my house, enough for all of us. I don't want it on record that he has a license to carry because let me tell you
All right,
this: when you got a license to carry, when they looking you up, when they pulling you over, they like I'm on guard off rip because I know this person has a license to carry. That's what I learned in my CCW class anyway.
But I
From
also-
a white police officer.
But I
He was
did
like,
know
you
that-
gotta understand that when you register yourself and you get this license to carry, I know you went through the class, you did all this, but before you actually go and file the paperwork, understand that when we pull you over and we see that you have a license to carry, we automatically are on guard. I don't want him going through that at 18.
So like I have my CCWs as well, and when I got pulled over, they
Well, I
know
didn't
that
get
I had
mine.
the training
You said
because when they pulled up, I got my hands there. Officer. So there's a decorum that also comes with you having your.
Sure it is. All right. All right.
I'm living proof.
You are.
Yeah.
How many aren't?
What other proof should I believe besides my own?
The ones who died.
And the people that you see. I
Who
mean,
get
you
killed?
can't judge everybody by what you would do, or else you would just be too vulnerable. Like, you have to at least be aware that everybody isn't as responsible as you, bro.
And two, if you run up on the cop and you doing all of that, but you run up on the cop that's on one,
yes,
and he still won't fuck over you. You doing all of that. You putting your hands on the steering wheel. You showing him all of that, but you got a gun in the car, and he know he can fuck over you, and he will fuck over you, and you done did all of that.
I mean,
you can't act like that won't
but
happen.
you still have to do everything that needs to
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some
And you
people
still doing that.
You are doing it, and I mean,
But
it's
that's
less
the thing,
likely
like,
for you to
That's
get.
the problem I
It's
have.
less
When
likely, but it is. You do run into.
I mean, maintain your cool.
the problem that I have when people say maintain, let me tell you something. When I am driving
But
and the
you do
police
have to
pull me
maintain
over,
your cool.
my heart rate automatically goes up.
That's right.
Automatically. Yeah. I get that we gotta maintain our cool, but at the end of the day, the other day when I came to the podcast and I got pulled over by the police,
both of y'all are right.
So,
you know what I'm
another
saying?
police officer came on the other side of my car. Did I not call you?
Yeah,
I called you like,
there.
I got pulled over. I don't know what's about to happen. Please stay on the phone. Off rip. I get maintain your cool, but we all understand the dangers that we are in. So maintaining your cool takes on a whole different. My son, he could be like, let me. I'm about to get. Can I get my life? And then my other son could just be like, "It's right here, bam, he dead."
One of the problems with the police officers today.
No, real talk.
But listen,
that is true.
One
Still, you have to do. Even though that can happen,
no,
you still have to do all
I'm
the
saying
things Peanut is saying.
No, I'm saying to do that, but I'm saying when you say long as you maintain your cool. What does that even mean? Because my cool is not maintained.
What does it mean?
Soon as the lights come on, my cool ain't maintained.
Maintain your cool for whatever your heart rate is. Like, you have to relax.
You
try.
So Doc, I've been arrested multiple times. More than the average U.S. citizen that's ever been arrested.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have no negative situation between me and a police officer. Multiple police officers, not one officer keep catching me off and catch me driving. I'm talking about serious offenses to where I had nothing wrong. Them come to my door 20 deep to pull me out of there where I had no clothes on. And I was respectful to let me put my clothes on and I got a chance to leave. I'm saying there is a decorum that you need to adhere to rather than having this whole victim mentality. I'm not saying you have it, but understanding you have certain parts that you control. You can control yourself. A lot of people do not feel like, and I hate that there are people out there who feel that they cannot control themselves.
It ain't about that, bro. It's about being in a situation where you don't know what's gonna happen. Like my mentor, she was being followed by the police. The police for blocks. She finally got pulled over. They say to her, "Do you know why you're being pulled over?" She said, "No, but I do know my heart rate is up because you're following behind me. I'm doing the speed limit." I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, when we know for fact what can happen, sometimes anxiety, I have social anxiety. Me, I have it. I fear for my son because he has it. He has it to the point where, like, when they was calling them fake school shootings, calling me crying, come get me. So, yes, maintain your cool is more than a notion. When I don't know who I'm dealing with when you pulling me over. I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm not saying that at all.
We don't know what kind of cop we're going to get when we get pulled over.
So because
the cool
of that,
one, the Aryan brother, the one that ain't killed no nigga yet, we don't know.
So
that's the fear.
That is
we don't know which one it is.
The fear of the
unknown. We're not the only ones. Celebrities.
I know.
Snoop say he get, all of these celebrities even say.
Absolutely. And what I'm saying is, for somebody to say,
right.
The thing for me is, at the end of the day, this shouldn't even be a fear from the people that we pay their salary through our taxes. It shouldn't have to be when I see these lights go on.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the last day I see my kids, or are my kids going to see me get punched in the face, which happened in Vandalia by a cop for no reason? Yeah. Like all these things. So I'm just saying, I
would not say no reason. That person not maintain her cool neither during that situation.
Man, F what you talking
about. So listen. Let me say something. Let me give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
I am. I'm saying that because first of all, these are two grown ass men. Take color out of it. Let's take color out of it. I'm sitting here, I'm upset because I'm a paying customer, and I'm upset because the customer service is not going the way it should go.
Right.
So for us as Black people to always be put at this unhumane to display these unhumane characteristics of you always have to maintain your cool, stay calm, do this. Like, are we not human? Can we not be upset? The minute we get upset and like, hold on, bro, like, what you doing? This ain't that. I'm getting punched. Oh, because you didn't maintain your cool. Fuck that. Because at the end of the day, we should be considered as humans too. And we should understand that at the end of the day, we should be able to get upset sometimes too. We can't.
So,
Right.
And that's
no. Wait, listen.
Point.
Maintain your cool does not mean the moment the police officer is in front of you. Maintain your cool knowing this. I have buying power. This place is a terrible place that's messed my order up. I will never put my money there again.
I'm saying he won't. But too late, the damage is done.
Can I please talk for 5 seconds longer than you? When I'm saying this, after you have this bad experience, I'm not sitting around waiting for no police officer to mess up. I'll never spend my $5 in this business ever again. This whole
Do you not know the story?
This whole notion of you thinking that it's equal when we know for a fact
You got
it's
a
not.
charger for that light.
Right?
I didn't bring mine.
It's a fact that it's not
So should
equal.
we accept the
right?
fact that should we
I don't know
accept
what
that?
And then
it
maintain our
No,
cool.
no.
You got something
What
for
else?
that?
All right, look. We talking basketball, right? If I know I ain't got no daggone 3-point shot, I go there keep on shooting it all night. If I know I'm at a disadvantage based
What
off
if
of my
you know you got
So what are you
the
supposed
three? You
to
shoot
do?
the three.
First
What
of
if you
all,
shoot
let's
the
be
three
clear.
and they only
She
counted
didn't call the
two?
police. They called the police on her. Let's be clear about that. Second of all, I'm sure she's not going to go back to the McDonald's, but the damage already done. And at the end of the day, we can sit here and say what we should and shouldn't do. But at the end of the day, as a paying customer, I should be able to voice my grievances. I'm not putting my hands on you. I'm not cussing you out. I'm simply raising my voice. But guess what? As Black women, we're seen as being aggressive when we just raise our voice. When Karen could raise her voice all she want, I'm calling the police, and the police come and automatically assume I'm in the wrong and punch me.
I got a question. Was there any alternatives to that actually happening? Was there any alternative that she personally could control that made that happen or not?
But why should she
I'm
have to?
asking you one
It's
question.
always an
I'm only
alternative.
asking you a question. Did she have any hands on the wheel at all?
She wasn't after her. She wasn't on the wheel.
The police
That ain't what happened.
Hold on,
Her
hold on,
hands don't even
hold on, hold on, wait.
That's the fuck I could have not known that was my that was my
Hey,
issue.
what about him not punching her though?
No. All right,
They
so
told me to give my life.
I'll give you an
They
alternative.
shot me behind
I'll
the
give you
back.
another alternative.
Give me another alternative.
Because one alternative was I'll never go spend my money ever again. It's all good. Whatever. Boom. But you're saying no. I'm Superwoman. I gotta go outside there and argue our point.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Please
That's not what I'm.
okay, I miscategorized the way you are going to say the same thing I just said. The second thing is this. Every receipt you get, there has if I had a messed up service, they have a call center for you to call and you can get free stuff from there. It could have been an alter where she literally leaves there and get her order refunded.
I thought she did
and get the whole situation done rather than being in the heat of the moment talking about I need to go address the manager.
Yeah.
That, to me,
Hit
was
it
the
again.
wrong idea to do.
It'll get brighter.
Well, I guess you're right. Just like when people were enslaved.
Yeah,
appreciate it, man.
Just like when people were enslaved, I guess they could have said, "I'm gonna stay with master. That's an alternative to not getting killed."
If you're equating slavery to
No, I'm not equating slavery.
If you're equating slavery to someone calling a receipt that's already set up for whenever your order's messed up, it's on the sheet. It's right there. That's a contract you get.
But why the fuck do I gotta participate in that little dumbass contract? When they fucked me right here, I wanna fucking say, you got me fucked up. This is a problem.
You deserve whatever comes out of that energy that you put into the atmosphere. Whatever comes out of that, whether you win or you lose. Whether you win or you lose.
What about
Whether
the
you win or
energy
you
that they
lose.
fucking should have for
All right,
fucking
cool.
up, for disrespecting her though?
Hey, hold on. What do you know? What do you know? I will put it in your face.
Just be cool and nice to master.
Right, like,
Put it
punch
down, put it
punch
down.
the nigga in the face, take the woman, a man manhandles and punches a woman in
But
her
what if
face.
you know
over
I will
fucking
punch you in your
McDonald's
face if
You
argument.
done
get
had a
loud
messed
with me.
up order over here before.
If you already know that I'm
So that's
telling
just my
Hey, Peanut,
Well,
you
that's
talking
just-
about
should
what
expect
you
me to
would
punch
do,
you in
bro.
your face if you get loud with me.
When that's just about somebody coming inside your business
Because I
and
can
talking
command
you
you,
crazy.
That ain't what happened.
I'm
Let's
asking
stick
you
to
a
the
question.
facts.
I'm asking that
No,
question.
we're
Hold
not.
on,
Let's
what
stick
is
to
it?
the facts.
If someone felt like they want to come raise issue with you over you mess up an order when you have proper channels in order to fix the order, they come out here and they're like they
Would you punch her in the face?
No, I
Okay,
wouldn't.
just
But
wondering.
he is asking. He's asking a who.
Okay then, because that's wrong, and that's the point.
Proper channels
and
to
bro,
handle disgruntled
listen,
employees. It's not
wait a
going there
minute,
distracting people, man.
That's not what happened
What's
though.
wrong with us? Like, we think it's okay to go
You
address
sound like
people.
our oppressors.
Face
What the
the
fuck
fact.
is wrong with us? What the fuck is wrong with them for punching her?
What?
Regardless.
Why do we think conversation is the only way we can
We
sell
don't.
things?
Why do we?
That's my thing.
Why do we
Get
think?
proper channel set up.
Okay, why do we think when we voice our opinions it's confrontation?
Exactly,
It was
bro.
something recent
Like, if
that
they
happened.
fucked up her order, why doesn't she have
About a
the
year ago.
right to just
Lady
say,
that
like,
fucked
this
in
is
the-
fucked up?
And
And
then
you
that-
fix
yeah.
my son. What? How do you know that she didn't do that?
She did do that.
The point of you getting the police calling you,
You was
okay,
arguing about
cool.
her.
Because they could have carried her and just called
That is what happened.
reacted to her.
That is what happened. Literally.
I'm saying, like,
Not
how
just
do you
arrested
know
her,
that she
nothing.
did
No.
it to a
We
level?
don't know either side.
So that's
Yes,
what
we
I'm
do
saying.
know, 'cause we
But we know
watched
she
you
got
before
punched in her
we
face.
But we know there was an alternative to her getting punched in the face. They got to deal with. I'm saying there was a mitigating factor that she controlled personally within her own person.
Of course
She didn't walk in there, buy a burger, got her ass whooped. She went in there and got the order, and she was like, you know what, boom.
She argued with him. They called the police on her.
And she was on the way to the car. The police rolled up. She like, hold up, what's happening? She said, hold up, what's happening? I don't understand what's going on. She was leaving.
Then you listen.
She didn't get Florida on the McDonald's. She was in the
She
parking
got
lot.
punched outside.
Oh, she was leaving.
She was leaving.
Dear black people, do not feel like you can just walk around feel like you need to address every single thing that you have a problem in your life. That's not how everybody
Dear black people, according to Peanuts, don't address shit.
Bullshit.
Just say,
Yeah,
I'm
what
going
are
to
you
be calm
talking
and not
about?
do nothing because I live in this
Yeah,
world
nobody-
where I
they
get
never
punched in the
fucked
face
up your
and I got
food.
that
Be
alternative.
a dummy, keep spending money, but that don't fucking represent
But
you.
She never had to go there again, though. Just
She
because
never
she
went
I
went
ain't
there.
gotta go there no more. What?
She
Why?
Already went there, though. What are you saying?
You could have called and got a refund with the manager. It's
Oh, that's
not
what-
an issue. It's
but-
not a big issue.
She's
So
not a
what if
robot,
she's leaving
I'm
out?
not saying I'm being a robot,
Okay.
but you can't control yourself.
So
That's all
what
I'm
if,
saying.
so what
But
if she
hold on, wait a minute, please.
How do I know you can't control
Peanut,
yourself?
can I get the floor? Can I get the floor? What? Let me say my point. If she goes inside McDonald's, they fuck up her order, then she says, "This is some bullshit. You fucked up my order." And whatever way she said it, she didn't even have to say it that harsh. They said, "Oh, I'm offended. I called the police now." She didn't even compute that what she said to them was mean enough for her to get the police called on her. So now she's already like, fuck it, I'm out of here.
This is speculation,
Hold
of
on.
course. This is speculation.
But wait a minute though, you're speculating. We're all
Let's
okay.
bring
So
the story
now
up
you're
so
trying
we
to
don't
act
have
like
to
I
speculate.
am and you wasn't by
I'm
saying
not.
I was. So let me keep going.
Yeah.
Let me keep going. When she gets outside for her, she's met with the police over her just saying, y'all fucked up my order. She like, this is some bullshit. And she's arguing her point with the police.
Mhm.
Because other citizens of America, sovereign citizens of this country, have a right to say how they feel. Even if the police is there, she wasn't expecting to be punched in her face, even if she was passionate about her stance. And for them to punch her in the face was wrong. And we know that because of
I agree
all.
with it being wrong.
So what are we saying here? We're saying she's wrong. You're saying she's
I'm
wrong.
saying
He said she had another option.
But he had another
Saying that
option.
she's wrong.
What I'm saying was,
Yes,
cause
you're
and
saying
effect.
she's wrong.
I'm
She's
saying
dumb
cause
as
and
fuck.
effect. I'm saying cause and effect. Is
But
this?
how can you
How was it- how
control?
was that cause
How
and
can you
effect?
control what the manager calls the police on you for just saying like, y'all fucked up my order. Let me get my money back. Let me
So
get my
wait,
money
so
back or
wait,
whatever she was
so
I
trying
want
to
to
say.
speak from fact.
so-
Can we
so-
speak from fact?
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to show y'all the
So wait,
video.
wait,
Yeah.
wait. So wait,
If
wait.
we read this first.
Let's see what this
Look,
talking
one thing is because I'm in a person who been to a restaurant and got terrible service and I didn't go back. And I didn't get my punched in the play by police.
I have done that too. People.
We all have on this panel. So
Okay.
we're acting like that's not a thought process if you have
But
a or you
Peanut,
have
but
one
Peanut,
restaurant.
hold on.
But have
You're
you
skipping
ever-
over. Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
You are skipping over one detail. Okay, she already ordered the food. She was never going to come back. But before she never came back, she wanted to get her situation fixed. After they denied her to fix the situation, now she would never come back. It wasn't just, you fucked up my food, I'm never coming back. She tried to resolve it. It might have been in an anger way. She might have did it in the wrong way. But you can't just say, she should have just never came back. She wasn't never going to come back. But she tried to resolve it here in the middle. When she tried to resolve it, They called the police on her. So, like, you got a right to protest bullshit that happens to you. If I fuck up somebody's shirt in here in the store and they pissed off, I knew I fucked up and I want to fix it for them. Worse than they want it fixed. I want to fix it because I don't want anybody leaving out of my store that I didn't take care of. You feel me?
Right.
So, like,
customer service, good business.
bro, come on, bro. Like, somebody is irate in your store. If somebody gets too irate in here, I resolve that shit. Man, hold on, bro. Let me make you another shirt. I see you mad right now, bro. Let me just make you another shirt. I got you. Tell me what you want me to do, and I'm going to go there with you.
As the owner, not the, like, of course.
My employees are. My employees are. The people who work here are me. This is T-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Who wrong?
But McDonald's ain't T-shirt king, bro. Like, they gonna have people
Didn't even get a woman to come.
She was just like, hold on, what's going on? She like, hold on, what's
Yeah.
going on?
It's a mom and pop shop.
You telling me that's
Is
Look at that shit.
Come on.
I seen it.
The police
about
officer.
4 or 5 times.
I know.
Right.
She like this, hold on, what's going on?
Let me rock out with you for a second. I do believe sometimes people bring themselves getting killed. Niggas bring that shit on themselves sometimes. Sometimes they might.
That's right.
But the police officer at the end of the day does not gotta pull the
Because it didn't matter what happened in the store.
We all agree on this part.
No, we don't. You're saying, listen,
What are we talking about?
I'm telling you, she was leaving.
At this point, I agree with what happened at this point. It was all fucked
So
up.
what did she do wrong? Because she left the store. What did she do wrong? She left.
So he's saying it was fucked up.
No, what I'm saying to this is
different than y'all.
This is what I think
mean,
you're
you
saying.
just
Hold on, this is what I think you're
with
saying.
A lot of like
Well, a
fucking
lot of vigor.
conviction.
Yeah, I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know that, but we're
Arguing
telling you.
with the-
But
the-
now
the-
you
the-
understand
the-
where we're coming
What I'm
from.
saying-
No, I've always understood that what happened was messed up. What I'm saying is that we cannot sit back and think that we do not have
didn't
control.
do shit.
What else could she have done?
Oh
She
my
left.
God, bro.
She literally left the store.
Let's
If that I'm
get-
out.
come on,
It
what did
sounds
she do?
like
What did she
it sounds
do?
like he's trying to say
No,
this is bullshit.
Yeah.
and
Sorry.
and not and just bow down and just let
Accept
him
that
accept
bullshit. Accept
that
bullshit.
Because she
bullshit and move
said
on.
she left the store, Peanut. She said, I'm out. I don't know what happened in the store.
I need to see the full surveillance in order to have a full
The police
understanding.
wanted to
The
take
point
her
is she
ID.
left.
They wanted
left.
to take her ID.
We don't know how long she was arguing in the store, nothing like that. Like, okay, if the police was just right down the street, but typically they're not even in the same area. But okay, cool.
That McDonald's in
Vandalia?
They right down the
Again,
street.
They fucking live there. They live there. It's It's a fucking police
Nigga,
community.
we all agree
said
that
he
what
didn't know the
happened
story.
was messed up. What happened? But
What
what I'm
it
saying
said-
is
That
we
messed
cannot
up
be
is an
so dumb
understatement.
as people to think we don't have control over how that could have fucking went differently.
That's not true.
We can't sit back and
Oh no! Wait a minute. That's
She
why I
left.
come in.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
That's,
why.
why you're wrong.
Hold on. That's why I come
It could
in.
have went
They
different.
go to
Listen,
physics
man.
major.
It
Okay,
could have went no
listen.
different.
Listen. First thing. Let me clear this air, man. First thing. You can't control people, persons, and things. All you control is yourself.
Right.
When we get, hold on, give me 5 minutes.
sure.
Give me 5 minutes. When one of the things, the problem is when we get pulled over as melanated men and women, we don't know what type of officer we're getting. We don't know if we're getting the Aryan brother. We don't know if we're getting the cool brother. I stopped the ticket one time with my barber chain one time. This guy got out the car with that rah, like he was about to pull me out. He seen my barber chain and said, "Are you a barber?" I said, "Yeah, man. You get a 5 on top and a ball drop fade." He did like this here. Yeah, that's what I get. Hey, my brother's a barber. I'm human.
Yeah.
I became human at that moment. Now we're having a human conversation. And he said, "Have a good day," and let me go. You do not know what type of officer you're getting. That woman, I don't even know the full story, but taking a piece from her saying, "Man, this food is fucked up." Okay, you're saying that you can control what people do.
No.
You feel what I'm saying?
What
No,
I
you
am
can't.
doing. No, what I
You can't control
You just
what
proved-
people do.
In your story right there, you just said exactly what I said was. You saw him turned up. You made a decision to do things differently, and you changed the outcome
Listen.
based on what you just said. You just said it. You did
So
that.
you gotta do that. You
listen,
gotta
listen,
placate
listen.
in order to
Listen,
live, and that's
listen,
okay.
Let me tell
You
you what I
can't
do.
tell me it's not
Watch
possible.
this.
You just told me you just
Watch
did it in
this.
your story.
Watch this. This is what I learned. Okay. This may not work for every officer.
Agree.
Right.
Watch this one.
Agree.
There's another one that I did. I had another officer pull me over, and I had my cowboy hat on. And then he said, "Oh, you a Cowboy fan?" No, that wasn't the story. He pulled me over, and he said, "Why did I pull you over?" I said, probably because I'm a Cowboy fan. The officer laughed. I became human. We got to talking about football, and he let me go.
Yeah.
That don't work with every cop. Another cop I do the same thing with. "Oh, you trying to get smart," and snatch me out the car.
That happened for real?
Yeah, that happened for real. Real story. Yeah, the barbershop story with the chain.
The barbershop.
That happened.
Yeah.
And then
Cowboy.
he pulled me up in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
He asked me, why did I pull you over? You know how they ask you that? You know why I pulled you over? I said, "No, officer, because I'm a Cowboy fan."
Yeah.
He laughed.
That's
It
a
worked.
good one.
But that don't mean that's gonna
America.
work with every cop. Every cop is
Every nigga gonna
different.
use
So
that.
let me say what I do. I do not when I drive, I take my wallet and I take my driver's license. You know the sleeve, that clear sleeve they give you for your insurance
Bless you.
paper.
Man. Bless you.
I put my driver's license in that
Bless you.
sleeve,
Bless
and I
you.
put my insurance in that sleeve.
Bless you.
I put it up in my visor.
I'm sorry, I was blocked in.
So when I get pulled over by the officer, I crack my window like this. That's the law. You only can crack your window about an inch or two, just to give him paperwork. And I know that's sovereign stuff too, right? I haven't done my paperwork,
Yeah.
but I understand that, right?
I love.
I got some brothers that do that. I
Yes,
got
bro.
I got a whole bunch of cats.
We
When y'all hear me talk.
talking about that.
Okay, so what I do is I'm not reaching for shit. I grab that visor down and I hand him my driver's license and insurance and I put it through that slot. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
Now, by doing that don't mean 100% they're going to treat me a certain way. They can still shoot me.
There you go.
They can still do this.
There you
But
go.
I
Still
feel
punch you in your
if I
face.
had to choose a way to not reach, I'm going to grab that visor and grab my information and hand it to him. I'm not saying that's going to work for every cop.
Right. But
So I got something that you gonna agree with. I got something else. We have to find ways that I'm gonna do A, B, and C. Because one of my one of the attorneys that I used to cut her hair, in her business card, on the back of her business card, she gives us our rights if we get pulled over. I don't have the card with me, but she gives us our rights when we get pulled over, right? And you read them and you follow them, and then you can use those, and then you can call her, and she'll be your attorney for that case, right? All right, kudos, because a lot of people don't know their rights and stuff when they get pulled over. You ain't got to tell them shit.
Right.
You telling them where you're going. You telling them where you been. You ain't got to tell them none of that. If you knew the laws of the First and Second and Third Amendment, you'll understand what you can and cannot say. But then again, when you use your constitution, when you use those, that might not work either. I've done it.
Right? Would you call that man?
I've done it. I told the officer before. I told the officer before I was trying something. I said, I'm gonna try this, but you gotta stand on it. He pulled me over. I didn't have my seatbelt. He said, I'll pull you over now, officer. I'm pretty sure you're gonna tell me. He said, I pulled you over because there's that. Then he asked me, I said, I don't answer questions. He said, oh, you're one of those. And I gave him that look. I don't answer. I had one of my African shirts on with the ankh and all that stuff. I don't know if he saw that, whatever. And he said, oh, okay, you one of those. He gave me no conversation. He wrote up the ticket, and then he decided to say, hey, man, I'm going to let you go. Now, it could have went left. But I tried to use my constitutional rights in that moment. I said, let me try this. And I've done this when I was in the penitentiary one time. I was leaving the chow hall one day, and a CO was behind us. And they said, inmate, inmate, inmate. I didn't turn around. The other guy I was talking to, he turned around. The officer had to get around and get in front of me to address me. He said, where you lock at, inmate? I pointed to my dorm. He said, what's your name? I pointed to my badge. He said, oh, you one of them. You ain't going to talk. Let me take you to the white shirt. I bet you the white shirt going to get you to talk. So he walked me to the white shirt. Another gray shirt came out of the chow hall and said, oh, that's Thompson. You ain't going to get him to say nothing. So the white shirt said, what's your name? I pointed to my badge. She says, where do you lock at? I pointed to my dorm. Oh, handcuff him. Take him to SEG. They took me to SEG. I went to court. Segregation.
Okay.
To the hole. So they walked me to the judge to see the judge and SEG. I didn't even go in the cell. I just went straight to her. She said, "What happened?" I told her what happened. She said, "Get your ass. You in college in here? Yeah. Take your ass back to your dorm." You see what I'm saying? So sometimes, I was testing my power because I understood that we had the power.
Yeah.
And I was testing having fear. You see what I'm saying? So you can't have fear. Martin Luther King didn't have no fear. Malcolm X didn't have fear. One of the prerequisites in using any of these constitutional rights and anything, the main prerequisite is you got to be ready to die.
Yeah.
So whatever you choose to do when you get pulled over, stand on it. Whatever you choose to do when you get pulled over, stand on it. But come up with some type of way and format. So I thought, let me take this off, and then I'm gonna put my information on the visor. Yeah, because I keep seeing cats getting. They say reach for your wallet, and I seen them spraying motherfuckers. Yeah. So let me just take this and do this. I'm gonna put my driver's license up here, my insurance up here, and just crack it 1 or 2 inches, and I'm gonna hand it to him.
Mitigating factor.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that works. I'm not saying that
you
works.
should have to do that.
But come up with
But
something.
do you think that that's bad decorum, Peanut?
Come up with something.
For what he did, is that bad decorum?
No. What he's doing is exactly what I was saying before, is doing precautionary things that can offset something that we do not have control over, which is another individual.
But not rolling your window all the way down, addressing the officer as with respect, because what he's
How to answer a
doing,
question.
what he's
Law
doing,
is an inch and a
what,
half,
he, what,
2
he,
inches.
what he's doing to me is, if I was a police officer, I feel like, I don't know if I feel it was disrespectful, but it's definitely not welcoming.
And some officers know that 1.5 or 2 inches. That
But it
he's
might
not-
be
he's
keeping
not-
them safe too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A lot of officers know that it's an inch and a half or 2 inches.
Less
You don't have to crack. You only have to crack your window enough to give them the information.
And you can say
Have you
COVID
ever
now.
spoken to somebody
You
who
can say COVID now. Huh? I don't
did
want
that and,
I got COVID.
and got an adverse reaction?
Well, there's a video.
He dropped a jewel right there, yeah.
Jewel.
There's a video
I got COVID.
of
I got the mask on. I got it right there.
there's a video of a Moor in a truck. Y'all can pull
The
this up.
Moors is the
Yeah, I
very
thought
He
The
had
Moors
his
is the
his
goats, man.
national flag on him.
I saw this.
That's how that.
Big dude. He was in the truck.
Yeah, the
They
flag
swarmed
is-
him. He was like, "Y'all ain't got jurisdiction. Y'all don't have no jurisdiction." 1778. He was talking about the treaty that they didn't upheld. You know what I'm saying, for their nationality, right? So they don't have a nationality. Y'all foreign citizens here. So how can you give me law and order and duty under the under that flag when I
Right,
subscribe to this flag?
Yeah.
I'm not United States. I'm not nothing. I have jurisdiction in this land, right? They pulled him over about an hour. You know they pulled off.
All of them.
It was about 5
Yeah.
or 6 or more
I seen
cops
I seen
on that brother.
I seen
I just
And they-
wonder,
and they-
have
and
you
they-
ever
and they
seen-
pulled off.
Have you ever seen anybody who
Did
not
he have
necessarily to
a
that
driver's
extent?
license though?
No, he had no driver's
Yeah,
license.
He had no
You don't need a driver's license. Yeah, he was a
Not
sovereign
driving,
citizen.
Bro,
Driving.
how can we not
Yeah.
be doing that? Like, bro,
Yeah.
that's how we supposed
You
to
gotta-
Exactly.
be, bro.
Well, you have to
Because
be.
you're traveling.
You're
under-
traveling.
under-
You're not
under-
driving.
Yeah.
Driving is commercial bound
Yeah.
with transit.
You gotta have a license.
Like an 18.
But does he have
I got a
to? He
question,
have to
now wait.
denounce his
That's driving.
Now
Right,
wait.
you gotta have
Is
a
that what he's
license to
doing?
do commerce.
Now wait. If he would have got punched in the eye, how would y'all felt about that?
But he stood on.
I'm only asking y'all
I would
questions.
have
That could
still
happen
felt
too.
the same way. Because if I'm
That
not,
can happen.
if you're
So you
just,
think he
They
should
could have shot him. They could have did all kind of shit. But he stood on that.
I'm not. Man, listen.
You look
Yeah.
like you like
I don't
punching
think,
people, though. You
I
know
don't
what I'm
think
saying?
nobody should put their hands. I don't care, cop, person. Nobody should put their hands on another person.
At
If-
no time.
Hold on, unless you put your hands on them. Words don't mean anything.
What?
Yes, that's what I believe.
What
But
if
this
somebody
is the,
what if somebody is like literally whooping somebody
okay.
else's ass?
Listen,
and you gotta jump in and do that to him?
let's be real. Let's talk about me
Yeah,
and
but
you.
words manifest into
I
crazy
understand.
shit.
I understand.
Yeah, you know.
But what I'm saying is,
Law and order is needed.
if we're talking about self-control,
Real shit.
I've never. This is coming from somebody who never been in a fight in her life,
Yeah.
and best believe it's shit that went down.
Mm-hmm.
I
talking
walk
about
away.
physical fight.
Physical fight.
Okay.
Never.
Man, nobody that gonna verbal assault it like you know what I'm saying you do every week.
That's right. Because I feel like words. I feel like we should be able to battle with words without you putting your hands on me.
Facts.
And I feel like that when it comes to the police.
That
I feel
is,
like that when it comes to anybody.
What if
if I'm
somebody-
not
what if somebody
threatening,
isn't as
Nah.
articulate as you?
The police got to do
That's
it.
your fault. Education is
Right,
power.
but then
We
what
all
if
can
you're
get
not as
that.
strong as them? Then
But
that's your
police-
fault.
listen,
No, because I
'Cause
said
now
I
they
don't.
got the advantage over you in this. If you got the advantage over them in words, so if that's all they got the advantage of,
Yeah.
then
But even after they fight her, they'll still be a loser. I mean,
They are gonna be a loser because people. What? Let me tell you this. It's
I
one
mean,
thing
you
about
can-
somebody
you
who's
can-
never
you
been
can-
in a
you can
fight.
be-
They got a lot of pent up anger.
you
And
can-
let me
you
tell
can
you
beat
this.
somebody up.
Fear
you
could
can beat
F
somebody up,
up.
but you can still say like, bruh, you still dumb as
Stupid.
fuck.
I'm still an
You
idiot.
beat the fuck out of me.
And I'm still
That don't
talking.
make you
And now
motherfucking
what?
smart.
You ain't gonna
nigga.
shut me up.
You's a motherfucker.
'Cause you not gonna shut me up.
Dumb as fuck. And
That's what
the
we
wise, hey, the strong rule the weak, but the wise rule the strong.
Mhm.
That's why she ain't ever been in no fight, because she masters the motherfuckers who would want to fight her. Easy.
there you go.
And I just can't. So
What would you want to do?
I make sure.
Has anybody
I
ever
make-
approached you to
Yes.
fight you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in high
I
school.
did 4 years
What
and I didn't
happened?
fight not
In
one
high
fight.
school. So
Yeah.
in high school.
Not
Girl-
once, bro. Nobody never even approached you about it, bro.
Nah.
That is the coolest shit ever.
But one of the things
Because-
about where I was locked up at, I gotta keep it real.
Yeah.
I wasn't in one of them big tough where you gotta
Tough Tony. Rough
get
Rick.
your asses in question. You gotta get a gang. You gotta have a knife. You got to be in this.
But
group.
did you see
I
people-
wasn't in that environment.
But did you see people where you were
Fight.
fight and,
Was
and
there-
get
did
checked?
other people
The
fight?
younger generation used to come in there and they
You
be
wasn't
cracking.
super, you was 24. You was
What?
young.
Nah, these was 19,
18.
20-year-old. I came in
I know,
at
but
25.
y'all like, I think y'all gonna, yeah. So you
Yeah.
was a
So his
little
brain
old.
Right.
was fully developed.
Right. I came in at
So he had
25.
self-control.
But that I think
You know what I'm
that
saying?
man, my brother OJ, you know OJ from the hall.
Okay, yeah.
Zeus went- he got locked up. He
Did
said
he?
he never got into a fight either.
Right.
That's some polish right there.
hmm
Because I don't think you
Oh.
have to fight. I think
Michael
people
was
fight
fighting.
because of what they feel, how
Michael,
people around you.
Jim,
Rob,
They feel about how people are
yeah.
perceiving
Was
you.
he?
Yeah, he said he was fighting.
He was fighting in
is
Lebanon.
necessary.
Where was he at?
He was at
Big Wang.
Ross.
It hasn't been necessary.
Yeah.
Where was you locked up?
Fighting
at?
his-
Madison Correctional Institution.
So that's not a
They
Right
got
across
us in
from
Ohio.
London.
that's
Yeah.
not a fighting
Yeah.
prison.
It's
No.
not. It's a
Okay.
transition. So where I was at, these cats done did all they Buck Rogers time, 15, 20. And then a lot of them, they had a Monticello program. The Monticello program was people that have raped and done stuff with kids. So before they can get a parole, they got to come to Madison and do this program. It's like AA. So they got to get up there and talk about their case in front of all these men. So everybody that's in that group know their business. Just like AA. Hey, my name is Ruben. I've been drinking for 15 years.
Yeah.
I was under a bridge, all this and that. They got to do the same thing about their case. Yeah, I was molesting 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, little girls. They got to get up there and go through that program. So I was in that type of environment. I don't know why they put me in. I got drug trafficking.
He said, "Let me be
You know what I'm
clear."
saying? I'm like, man, what the hell y'all got me in Madison,
Yeah.
man? This they called it Camp Honey Bun. That's what they called it. So I just say that to say I'm glad that I wasn't in that animalistic environment
Do you
where I
think you
had
still
to
coulda made
I had
that?
to change, not really change, but I had to be in that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had to go in there.
No, like maintain
What was your
that.
point? What was your question?
No, what I'm
He
saying
said
is, do you
that
think
he
you
should-
still could have had that same thing, same attitude
coulda
of
made it.
I don't have to fight, or do you think you had
in
to?
a crazy?
If I was in a crazy one, I mean that's a different environment.
Yeah.
That's like asking me. There's 5 bears in this environment, and there's
I hear
only
you.
1 bear in this
I hear
environment.
you. I
What
hear you.
chances would I have to
I
fight
hear
the bear?
I hear
I have a
Sometimes-
more chance
sometimes,
fighting
I-
an environment with
you gotta
5
fight,
bears
yeah.
than the 1.
bro.
You see what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I
was you
understand that.
prepared to fight?
Oh yeah. Well, I wrestled in box. You know what I'm saying? I wrestled in box.
Yeah.
And I had size when I went in. I've been lifting weights. Me and Dante Coulter, we was the biggest dudes in school.
Yeah, real
From
shit.
1st to 6th grade.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Came out the womb
So
lifting.
we didn't have no problems on the physical level
Yeah.
at all. You know what I mean? Dante did a little bit more bullying than I did, but that was just one of them
Hey,
things.
Coulter was-
But yeah. That was my guy, man.
That's
I mean,
You know what I
nobody.
mean? Rest in peace to him.
I don't think.
and Dave Coulter, man.
Yeah, his brother.
Dang,
Yeah, his
yeah.
brother. Yeah. I grew up with the school with both of them. Yeah, with the Patterson.
Has anyone
When you
on this
graduate-
panel ever lost control of themselves?
Every second.
all of us.
I'm always out of. After I leave here, I
Really?
lose control.
Yeah.
So wait,
Hell yeah.
everybody here has lost control before in their life.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know one human who hasn't lost control.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can say I've never
Yeah.
lost control before.
Yeah, I've lost control.
I haven't.
Yeah.
You ever-
What? Like, I got fights and stuff like that.
No.
I never lost control. I wanted to fight.
Are you talking about losing control when it comes to fighting, or
Physical.
losing control? Period.
Like blacking out. Like
I've
blacking out and
I think
You
that's
start
different.
wilding out.
I never blacked out.
That's different.
But are you talking about losing control when it comes to fighting? Or are you talking about losing
I
control?
mean, have you ever
period?
done something
'Cause I'm
that
sure.
was against your highest positive purpose
Oh, yeah,
and you
but
knew
like,
it?
to me,
That's
like-
a loss of control to me.
Okay.
You've
well,
lost
I
control.
look at it that way.
And
Or have you ever went out and was like, I'm
What-
not
what is
drinking tonight,
losing
and
control?
ended up drinking?
It's
fight like ain't getting angry.
yeah, like so to the point where you cannot control yourself.
You have. I've seen you.
Tapped out.
Bruh, I have seen
I meant to
you.
do it then.
No, you did
I
not.
did.
I think
Well,
You
every
my
time I
brother.
go in,
you get mad.
And I know.
every time I go in,
I'm saying
No,
physically
it's
fighting
not
you,
that.
but
I'm talking about.
period
I'm
in
talking
life.
about.
You
I'm
gonna
talking
lost
about
some type
once
of
we
control.
start.
Like,
When
I
we
ain't
start
gonna eat
drinking,
arguing
And-
stuff like that.
not arguing, not arguing, but
Or
just
sexually.
losing control is when you
You know what
get.
I'm saying? Like,
You could get inebriated, and then you are literally out of control. The alcohol is like influencing the vibe
action.
that you're under
Yeah,
and the
that
actions that
action.
you're taking.
That you may not wake up the next day and know you did too.
And
Yeah,
you are
I
a
agree.
different,
Right.
and me too.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a different
yeah,
person when we under the influence.
told your mama
So
to
it's some of the control of your overall self is lost.
You kind of play the hand in that factor. I'm talking this from a mental break standpoint, not saying I led to this being the part where I lost control. Me continuing to drink or me taking this weed or me doing that is me already relinquishing
don't.
control.
No, I don't know. Go ahead, but I
So
don't think.
I don't think our intentions when we go out or when we're with our people, we're drinking. I don't think we're saying I'm going to drink to lose control, so we don't relinquish it. I understand what you're saying, but I do understand what he's saying too. I don't think
You
we
get to
relinquish
a
it.
drink,
Okay,
you drink so
anger-
much
oh,
that
okay.
you're
I'll
out of
probably
control.
Yeah.
Anger wise, have you ever lost control anger wise?
Anger wise. Now that's a different question. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking every day.
Yeah.
Not every day.
Verbally, but not physically.
I lose control of myself.
I-
I get angry with my own self.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like
Yeah.
But to me, just flying off the handle with like your emotions is not constantly losing control. Like
That
I'm
is
never
losing
like
control.
wild out. What? Huh?
That is losing control. When you're flying off the handle with your emotions, you're not controlling them. You're letting your emotions control you.
and you do things that are out of your normal
Yeah.
way of conducting yourself.
So like just raising your voice to somebody it's considered losing control.
I think so.
For me,
Yes.
I think I said things. I think I've been stressed at work.
It's
Stressed.
subjective, man. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I don't feel like
It is.
So have you ever
It's
said some
subjective.
things?
It's
Have you ever said
subjective.
some things that went
At
back
your
and forth?
defense is subjective.
Yeah.
It's subjective, man.
It-
You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
like saying things that I regret later doesn't mean I lost control. I said it at that moment because I meant it when I said it.
I don't know about
If you
that.
regret it later, then yeah, that's lost of control.
That's not lost
Because you
control.
regret- Because you got regret
What?
behind it.
I
And
think
you
so.
would have controlled yourself.
I thought
You don't have
about
to
that.
regret
You
it.
wouldn't
point
regret
earlier,
it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't even
that's
regret it if that's what you meant to do.
No, I had to reassess it.
Right, you lost control.
You would have had to be.
No,
Would you have to reassess it though? If you controlled yourself and assessed it in the first place, would you have to
Right.
reassess it?
Right.
You can reassess something that
Thank
you did where you,
Yeah.
you didn't even have to yell to be wrong.
Fact.
Like you could have said.
Well, we talking
the
about.
wrong
He said
shit.
in anger, like
You could
if
have been,
if he's saying it in anger.
but you could, but
I could have
hold
called
on,
my
but how you
She's
express?
not really a slut.
How,
Well, why would you say that?
I never done that. What I'm saying is,
Right,
I
if you
could
did
say
that.
that right then because she cheated on me one time. Does that cause her being a real slut?
Yes.
But you lost control and called her that because you was in your
Wait,
feelings.
Wait. Do you regret calling her that though?
I've never done that, but I'm
But
just
in
saying,
the situation,
If
in
you
this
called her
situation.
that, would you regret calling her that?
I would be like, man, I ain't really mean that.
Well, then you lost control.
I didn't lose control. I wanted to
Or
fucking.
did you mean it?
I
Because
said-
then you can't come out of it.
Right, either
I
or. If
did.
you meant it, then
I
you didn't
purposely
You
lose
just
picked
didn't
her.
want it to come out.
I purposely picked the
Well,
lady.
You did think she was a
Yeah, I
slut.
really think she's on the
Really,
lady.
finally,
I mean, I said
finally got the
Finally
courage
got
to fucking say it. to
Yeah,
her.
son.
That liquid courage.
Nah, you
But to Peanut's point though, just because you reevaluate something and change of heart doesn't mean you was out of control when you thought this thing.
exactly.
It just means you was wrong. Out of control means you are doing something that is against your normal character and somebody like brought that out. Like somebody controlled you.
Yeah.
And somebody can fuck with you
Facts.
enough in order to make you
Facts.
Agitate you to
exactly.
agitate.
But
Then
you're losing
agitate
control.
you.
Then you
Agitate.
call
And
them a
then you
slut.
lose
Then where you
control.
lose
And you
control.
lose
Right.
control.
And you call
There
them
you
a
go.
slut.
Somebody gets you out of control.
Agitated. Yeah. Yeah.
So have you ever been out of control?
I haven't never.
Your only word is absolutely.
Yeah. Probably for sure.
Hell
I want to ask for our
Not
guest
a recent history, but
this. This is something I want to ask our guest.
Okay.
This you're the
So
guy.
we talk about this.
Point at me.
No.
I'm just playing.
Ruben is a permanent part of this. He's a permanent part of the podcast. Bro, first of all, you can't move back to Houston. The only thing that you do now is come to the podcast.
hey, bro, good at the best.
Bro is good.
Yeah, he's
Right,
good. He
yeah.
played the finish.
Good.
Yeah.
He played the finish.
He
He
is
good.
good, bro.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
better fit.
Yeah, he know when to punch. He know
Yeah,
when to
bro.
block.
We
Yeah.
So
need
do you believe all black people came from slavery?
No, we transnavigated this globe way before the Europeans did. We had the maps.
Agreement.
We had all the ships, diagrams, and things of that nature. And you can find these in Giza. You can find them in Mesopotamia. You can find
Yeah.
them in the Sphinx. You can find a lot of these artifacts of spaceships, all the medical tools that they use today. We already had that science. You see what I'm saying? So most of the civilizations, what they did was they came to the lands of our ancestors and got their jump off,
Fact. It was college.
and they learned from the Egyptians and things of that nature how to breastfeed, how to do pottery, math.
How to wash their hands.
We created four fourths time, 1 2 3 4. We created music. We created all of these things. So that was a jump off. When we look at the
Do you mean before?
I mean,
You mean in America?
Because I mean,
Yeah.
black
Yeah,
black
so-
Americans
yeah, so-
today.
so going back to your
we're
point.
talking about
Yes.
reparations and stuff.
Yes,
do
we-
you say that like when they say, okay, well, I know one of the things for reparations is say, okay, we want to identify all of the people that's descendants from slaves. So would you say that all black people are descendants?
On this in America right now.
no, because
NBA.
there were a lot of
Oh,
free men.
that's
There
the
were a lot of
question.
free
That's
men
asking
already here
here.
in America. There
What
was only a certain
what
percentage
of
of
black
slaves.
people were free?
And
I don't know.
What would you say was slaves?
If
Just what you
I
think,
gave a
what you think,
percentage,
bro. Yeah.
it probably would be wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Alright,
So I like to
well,
speak.
Do you believe
I
that?
like to
do
speak
you
in
believe
facts.
that some black people were slaves?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just wanted
yes,
to
ma'am.
make
Yeah,
it
we got dungeons to prove that. We got bones. We got artifacts to prove that there were people that
Do
were.
you think those are plants? People planted that stuff there. This is for you, Phil. Where you at, Phil? This for you.
During slavery, what
I just had
percentage
to
of
say
black
that.
people were slaves? Just
It-
say we don't know.
I'm gonna
but
just say it was a
What's
high
your
percentage.
idea? What's
That
your
you think.
idea?
I can't.
So let
say.
me ask you this: do you think that
I can't say.
during slavery, I'm a slave master. I have all these slaves. You're my neighbor, right? And you're black, and me and you coincide together. Do you think that was possible?
You were select.
Like during
You're a
slavery,
slave master.
I'm white,
Right.
and I got all these slaves,
Okay.
and you're my neighbor, and you're black, and you're free, and you just walking about like you good. You
Who's-
think that
who-
happened?
Who's a neighbor?
You are. You're black.
I'm black.
And
I'm
you're
your
my
neighbor.
you're my
white.
neighbor, and I'm white.
Okay.
During the depths of slavery,
Right.
do you think that there were black people who was neighbors to white people who owned plantations, and they
They didn't enslave them.
yeah
Right.
Oh, okay. If they had a neighbor.
A
That they
neighbor,
could
a
just-
black
If
neighbor.
they
a
had a
black
black
neighbor who
neighbor.
could just be
black
live
neighbor.
their
Free
free
black
black
neighbor.
neighbor. They
No.
they didn't mess with them. They
I
were
don't
good.
think so.
There was only slaves at that area.
That's what I.
There wasn't any blacks in that area
So in the north, it was
when they were
different, though,
when
right?
they were enslaved.
But
Yeah,
the north was
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
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 So
yeah.
it's possible for, I guess, in that overlap area, for it to be something like that.
Oh well, I'm
Oh,
not
so
going
what we
back
talking
because I
about-
might
we
get
talking about
enslaved if I went back.
So like I got a partner.
We should call him up.
Go,
I would love for them to
his
debate.
lineage go all the way back to like the early 1800s or the late 1700s, and no one in his lineage was slaves. and they had land in Mississippi,
Or sharecroppers.
and they had businesses in Mississippi. So
Yeah.
during that time in Mississippi, in the early 1800s, me personally, I thought all that was on slave lock. Everything down there moving that was black was a slave. But according to his genealogy, it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He got proof that it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That it
Yeah.
wasn't.
Again,
What's his proof?
We
His
weren't
book.
Genealogy.
The,
we weren't all
Yeah,
slaves.
he got pictures and stuff and everything when pictures first came out back then. Yeah, he got the book.
Nah, bro, that's
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
that's what he said to me. Is AI. When I tell him
we weren't all
that,
slaves.
did you watch that?
Yeah.
I know
There was a high percentage of us that worked, but we weren't all slaves.
Yeah, I agree. I
And,
agree with that. I just
so,
want.
And
But-
the Europeans weren't the first ones the Europeans were the first one when they called chattel slavery.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
Yeah, but I'm saying
That's
that
what
was
Jews-
going on. That
So
was,
do you believe
we was
that
taught
women
was
were
going
being
on in
raped?
the
Do
early
you
18,
believe
late
that
17?
they were? Do you believe that slaves were more like employees?
Well, they were breeding. It was a breeding ground.
Do you,
Because I have a video called Buck Breaking.
Buck breaking by
Right. Taj Tariq Nasheed. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Buck breaking.
how do you
Shout
know
out to
that's
Tariq
real?
Nasheed.
How do you know
Oh.
that's real?
Oh,
Um,
thing on the research.
Well, okay. So
No, I'm just
so
trying to
yeah,
placate.
let's unpack that.
There's
You know,
scholarship on it. There's
I'm
scholarship on it.
listen.
unpack that.
First, let me be clear.
Yeah.
I agree with.
I'm gonna answer your questions though.
Let me be clear. I
Yeah.
agree with you're
Right,
saying
right,
because
Right.
this is the argument that I have. I'm only asking these questions
Right.
as it to.
I don't mind
Okay.
any question.
All right.
Yeah.
I need to be clear
I don't
to
mind
y'all
any
though,
question.
on this line.
Right. I don't
know
mind
my
any
people.
question.
I know what we went
If
through,
I
but
know,
go ahead.
I know. If I don't, I say I don't know.
Okay,
Right?
go ahead.
We're gonna keep this a buck.
Okay,
Yeah. What was your question?
I forgot.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh, that's what my question. How do you know that wasn't AI? How do you know that was real? How do you know the government didn't put that there to make us believe that we came from slaves?
He did the research.
How do I know that? Okay, so we have. Okay, let me answer this right here. Right. Okay. So what we got here? Keys. Okay. The keys right here. So we can prove that these are keys, right? So if I buried this key for thousands of years and we dug up this key, what will be the analysis of that? That there was a key
Yeah.
thousands of years, right? So we look at what we find, right? You know what I'm saying? So they say they found the Noah's Ark. No, they didn't.
So what
Yeah.
if I say,
So-
what if they say 1,000 years from now that when they
So
find the key-
findings proves what we found.
What if they say
You know
when
what
they
I'm saying?
find that key that key was used as currency?
We're just talking about a key. You're taking it to something else. Let's keep it simple.
Okay.
She asked a simple
How do
question.
I know that was AI? Because
Right.
AI wasn't
So-
in it back then. I just
So we findings.
these are real questions, are they not?
Findings
prove that slavery was real.
Findings prove that.
So-
We got slave dungeons and things of that nature. We got blood. You could do
Yeah.
DNA on some of the walls. They've taken DNA samples from some of these slave dungeons and traced those
Sierra
back.
Leone.
Huh?
Sierra
Sierra
Leone.
Leone. Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah, Brother Polite
Ghana.
did a good job when he
But
went
where
there.
was the war in Africa though? That's my bicker.
Yeah.
Like if so many black men was taken from Africa, I guess where was the war with the people who was capturing all these slaves?
How do you know there wasn't a war?
That's
Are
what
you
I-
saying it's not documented?
Never reported. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Through the record books, we had a lot of wars.
So,
Yeah.
We had what was
What
called the
wars?
Punic Wars, right? Which is people wars, right?
In Africa?
There was
In
wars,
Africa,
yeah,
we-
there was wars that we had amongst each other, and then we would do servitude. Okay,
Who's like what's the historian
I'm gonna tell
who
you.
wrote about the Punic Wars? Is this like the Europeans talking about the Punic Wars, or is this coming from like the people who
Okay.
who was warring against each other?
Okay, so we have a lot of African scholars outside of white academia, Egyptologists, right? So we have Anthony Broader. Shout outs to Anthony Broader and his daughter. They're doing a good job. They're doing excavation work in Egypt, making sure that the books that the Europeans are putting out about our history is accurate.
Right.
So it's good that we have a brother, many brothers. Shout outs to Dr. Ben, Dr. Joseph Ben Jocannon. He did a lot of work.
I know that, but hold on.
So
hold
I'm
on.
gonna answer
let
your
me say
question.
this though.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer your question.
I want to know about that written in the African language, whatever language it was.
We
there
had
in
many
Sierra
languages
Leone.
too. Yeah.
Where is their historical account? Not these new people who are here in America who
Exactly.
are analyzing this situation,
Yeah.
saying this is what happened. I want to know about from their records, their oral tradition, or however they're passing their history down. Where is their talk about there being 100 million of their families taken from off the continent of Africa and they never seen them again? I don't know that historical account from the African perspective. Or is there?
In Nigeria, in the night, because that's where they say a lot of us come from is Nigeria. So
Nigeria.
That ain't.
Nigeria.
No, we
Nah,
talking about
Sierra Leone. It's like
we
the
talking
west
about-
coast of Africa.
we talking about
Okay,
around.
okay.
We're looking at like the Nile Valley civilization, right? We're talking about the Red Sea. We're talking about Mesopotamia. We're
Right.
talking about
that's on
the
the other
Nile, the Nile Valley flows, right? And then you have
Where was the
you have
black
Kemet.
slaves taken
That's
from?
on the East
You
Coast.
have Kemet.
The
right.
west coast.
Yeah, the West Coast. of Africa.
The black slaves came from the West Coast, but
Yeah.
that was.
But no, I want to.
So
let's chop it up about where you was getting ready to go though.
Yeah.
We talking about Samaria, Mesopotamia.
Mesopotamia,
And then,
those
you know,
regions right,
right,
there,
right.
right. So that was some of our earlier civilizations, and how we find that is we got the Homo 1 man, the Homo 2 man. This is before Homo sapiens sapiens. So we see a development change in our phenotypes and things of that nature, right?
you believe
development.
in the Anunnaki? You ever read that?
That's what I was gonna talk. Billy Carson is doing a pretty good job. This is what he's doing, which is something that's new. And I like to talk to some of my historians about Billy Carson and where he's going, because most of the historians today, like Sheikh Amta Diab, Dr. Ben, Dr. John Hendrick Clark, Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. I got that book when he proved that all of their information that the Greeks got, it came from us. It came from us, right?
Do you-
Right. So
When you
this is
get
what
down,
I
I'm
say.
gonna ask you.
Hidden color.
So Billy Carson is doing a wonderful job. He's taking the emerald tablets and he's putting them in this machine, and he's kicking out that language into an English language that we can subscribe to. And he's seeing that a lot of the biblical things that they have said, we have already said that. They have just they've taken our stuff, whitewashed it, and then sold it back to us, the Vatican.
Yeah.
That's the one that's responsible for these books. And you know who
Yeah.
owns the Bible? Queen Elizabeth. It's called Queen of Crowns. They have ownership of the Bible. And you know Queen Elizabeth had the first slave ship. It's called Good Ship Jesus. Jesus of Lubeck. And Queen Elizabeth was the one that commissioned it. Sir John Hawkins was the captain. You see what I'm saying? So the Catholic Church has been responsible for the whole slave trade that has taken place, right? So what they done was they whitewashed all of our history, sold it back to us. Now we paying tithes to a white supremacy system that's not benefiting us.
I want to add and not take away.
See what I'm saying? So yeah,
It is.
question, yeah.
So for instance, like, I don't see how someone can look at this Bible and like one of the hardest things that I learned from Ahavad was he said, when you read the Bible, these were melanated black people.
Yeah, don't even talk
Right.
about a white
Right.
man anyway. In there.
So the part that kills me is when you go to this John, Paul, all the different names that okay now
them ain't indigenous names either.
Ezekiel, I can see that being an indigenous name. This John,
That's not
Paul,
indigenous
like, come
either.
on, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we understand that like there's been.
It's like when you go in a Arab store and they tell you their name is Sam.
yeah.
That's the
Right.
Their American
when you
name.
read
Right.
the Bible
I'm
and
John.
you hear somebody's name is Paul
Yeah.
or
Right.
John
Let's say
or
your name is
James.
Sam.
It's like, nah, nigga,
Or
your
Mike.
name is not fucking
Exactly.
Sam
That
or
ain't your
Mike
name, Sam.
in the Arab store.
But
Bro.
remember, we got whipped into our names.
Of course.
Kuta Kinte and Toby, remember?
Real shit.
What's your name, boy? Kuta Kinte. Your name
Let's
is
be
Toby.
clear. We know that was fiction, but it was based off of.
But
Well-
oh, go ahead.
We gotta be clear about that. We gotta be clear about that. That story was fiction. However, it
but I'm
depicted
just
real
saying,
life at the
what I'm
time.
Okay,
saying
yeah,
is,
yeah,
they
yeah,
said
yeah.
that
like how you
names
said,
was
like how you
already-
said, remember we got whipped into our names. I think it's like amongst black people, we all kind of think, or it's in us that we all came from slavery. because not all of us came
Yeah, we already impact that
from
we
slavery.
didn't all come from slavery.
So
It
when
was
we
already
say stuff like, "Oh, just remember, we got whipped into
So
our
the
names."
point is, you didn't get
our
whipped into
names-
yours.
Some
Yeah,
of our
not-
names,
I got whipped into
not
mine.
the
yeah,
free
some
man.
of our some of our
Not the free
names
man.
Yeah.
were
Not
names
the
that
free
we
men and
just
women.
came
Yeah.
up with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your last name may
Yeah.
be just Tom's son. You know what I'm saying? Your great granddaddy may name be Tom, and then his son might call him Tom's son. So they just put that on there, or he put it on there himself. Like, you know what I'm saying? My last name is. I'm gonna name
Well,
myself
just like
after
some
my
of us
daddy.
renamed ourselves after slavery. So all of the
Exactly.
names. Let me ask you this. This was a question on, I think, the last podcast. Do you think the first
Hey,
person?
Mom, I'm in a podcast. Let me hit you back.
Yeah.
I'm in a podcast. Let me hit you back.
That's my mom.
All right.
So
Mom
do
said, "Hey, bro, Mom said, what's a podcast?"
I already went over her house and explained it to her.
You need some help getting
I
out?
already explained it to her. I told her, just as she asked me. I just left her house. He called me. He said, "Can you come around the house over my mama's house?"
Nice,
She made me
nice.
some bread.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Some zucchini bread. Yeah.
love.
Yeah. Shout out to Mom. Thanks for the zucchini
Shout
bread.
out.
You could have bought us some.
Shout out, Mom.
I
can
dropped
eat
it off
that.
at the house. Yeah.
Nah,
But y'all know
Like-
my love for
Yeah,
sure,
I
bro.
could go get it though.
But so in the
Yeah.
last podcast, the question was posed: do you think the first person on Earth was black?
Not gonna use that term.
Or was
I'm
melanated?
gonna use the term melanated.
Okay.
So and reason
had
why
color.
because that's a scientific term. Right?
Okay.
Because black can mean many colors.
Right.
Because black is the color.
Hold on.
spectrum
Hold on.
Of all colors.
I know you're gonna go deep.
Go ahead.
Hold on. This is why I'm asking.
Right.
If the first person was melanated, had color to them,
Yeah.
how did white people become white?
Okay, so since
No, that was the question on the
Okay,
last
I'm gonna
podcast.
answer.
No lie.
okay, so since
You missed it.
since I haven't eyewitnessed your question, right? I have to base that answer off of Dr. Frances Quest Wilson. She wrote the book, The ISIS Papers. This woman was on the Donnie Hughes show going ham on them Egyptologists, white boys, right? Louis Leakey, if you ever look him up, Louis Leakey was one of the top anthropologists back in the 60s, right? And he even said that the first human being had a hue. Now, when we look at hue, anybody got a dictionary, a good dictionary, a college dictionary, break down human and split it because that's a compound word, right? Hue means black. Hue means brown. Hue is a darker hue.
That's hard, bro.
Let's go, bro.
That's
Hue,
hard, bro.
man, anybody
Talk.
listening, break down hue.
That's
Hue,
hard.
and look at the etymology of the word hue, right? Hue man,
Brown.
right? So brown. So let me finish. Let me finish. Ethiopia, the etymology of Ethiopia means black face.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Right? So
yes.
when we find artifacts that's older than other bones and things of that nature, and we find that this was our resting, or this was our home, we can prove that by the artifacts and do carbon dating. Now, carbon dating is not 100%. And let me explain that. You have carbon dating 14, right? They do a different carbon dating. So if forensics and the DEA, when they come into a house and determine how long a person has been dead, they do carbon dating 14. So that what they do is they find out, they test the blood, and then they can determine how long, and the muscles, they can determine how long that body has been there. Right? So that's how they do bones and things of that nature when they're finding out earlier civilizations. They do a carbon dating. It's not 100%, but it's almost like if you're getting furniture sent to your house, what they gonna tell you? We're gonna be here from 3 to 5. So you need to be home between 3 or 5. That's carbon dating. It's a gauge. It's you know what I'm saying? It's an educated inference that this was the time this bone was, you know what I'm saying, came into existence. Or this is the time this pyramid was built, or things of that nature. It's not 100% accurate, but it's a gauge. Right. So I want that clear, because a lot of people get on there and say, oh man, carbon dating. No, I understand that it's not 100%. What is?
So are you saying that hue?
Hue. When you look up the etymology
hold
of
on.
the word hue.
Are you saying that? I understand everything you're saying.
Right.
Are you saying that what people identify as white in America is just a lighter hue?
It's a lighter hue.
Okay.
So going
That
back,
answers the
I'm
question.
sorry that I went too far back, right? Let me deal with the Dr. Frances Wells Wilson. Shout out to her, right? She died of cancer, man. She was a good woman. Okay, so Dr. Frances Wells Wilson talked about that the woman has what's called the mitochondrial Eve gene. That two blacks can produce what's called an albino child.
See, that's where I was going.
Two whites cannot produce a black baby.
Agreed.
But
So
an albino child is different
we
from a
have
white person.
we have the dominant gene, but that color scheme is an albino traded element when we're dealing with the European. You see what I'm saying? Because that woman has what's called the mitochondrial Eve gene. She can bring forth all colorations.
Yeah.
That's Dr. Frances Wells Wilson work. Check out the ISIS papers. She broke that down in like chapter 3, right? I read that book like
And
3 times.
if that albino person has a child by another albino person, will that child be albino?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, because
But
remember,
what's the difference between albino and what we view as a white person? Because albino doesn't that
That's
mean
not a white person. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
you
saying,
can
because
tell
if a
a
white person
albino-
have a child by a white person, it's gonna be a white person every time.
Okay,
Not that about it.
so
Yeah.
through timing, when things were developed, when we had albino, later colors
We
came
got any?
through that. That's my estimation.
I'm saying though, so like if you got these two,
So
You got
if we
these two
so let's think
melanated
about it. If
people.
we all came from the black woman, right?
right?
They say that the blacks were the first on this plane, and all other colors come from that black woman,
That's what they say.
right?
that's what they say?
Right, from the mitochondrial
So
Eve
what
gene.
I'm saying, so this
Can
is
that still happen
what I'm
today?
saying.
Can a two black
Man,
can a woman still make?
Yes,
What did that be?
that's happening. Albinos are still being
I know,
produced.
but they're not
What if
white
if
people. Is
two-
what I'm saying.
if
You
two-
understand?
Yeah,
what
I'm not saying that.
I
I'm
know,
saying
but-
the mitochondrial Eve gene can produce all fat, just like black.
But can it still do that?
Give me the ball.
I need you
Yeah.
to listen. I need you to listen.
Please let me shoot one.
Black, the color black comes from all spectrums of all colors. Every color in the spectrum, white, tan, blue, green, all of those forms come out of the black, right? So that's why they don't even say black as a color.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
I mean, I understand what you're
so
saying.
if we came from you, sister,
Mm-hmm.
then that means all ethnicities can come out of you, right? So I don't know when, like you were saying, I don't know when that took place, or albinos came out, then white, and all that. I can't give you that.
So are you saying albinos evolved into white people?
I'm saying
Let Peanut go,
I'm-
please.
I'm not-
Hold on, Don.
yeah.
Hold on, come
He
on.
said
Peanut.
key to the class.
Yeah.
What you got, bro?
So the part that killed me is okay. So like for instance, we talk about the whole notion of someone being a albino, right? It only shows that can exist coming from it being started from a point. So that a black one can go into that point, right? We're leaving out the fact of what kind of constitute why our skin turns a certain color, right? If you've ever been to vacation in Miami, you'll come out with a different glow on you. You ever lived in Costa Rica, you got a different glow on you, right?
the light cut off.
So
The light cut off.
Keep trying to turn it.
so
He had it.
for instance, if you have these
Right,
melanated
cut back
people
on, yeah.
who live for
There it is.
centuries in a
And-
place that is absent of light, which actually helps that. Also, what we eat and what we consume also factors into our
Yeah,
physical.
yeah. How much vitamin D
And, and over a time frame,
Mhm.
because
How much time?
I
Because
don't have-
we
Yeah,
Yeah,
we talked about this.
We talked about
Yeah, I stay away from
So
that
if
time.
I go-
How much
if I
time
go-
do you think it'll take?
how many
for black
generations
people?
Yeah,
will it take
I
for
stay away from time.
two black people's genealogy to turn white?
longer than the Bible states.
Peanut said
We ain't talking
3
about the Bible.
generations. He said if two Zulus moved to the Caucasus Mountains in 3 generations, the kids would be white.
Did you say that?
Yes, not in that way, but I said
Basically.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to say you're wrong, but
No, I didn't say he was wrong.
I just
No, I
wondered
didn't
if
use
he
the
was
word
right.
Zulus.
I don't know to say he's wrong. I don't say he's wrong.
So
you know?
so all I'm saying is this is it is possible for two black people to make a non-melanated baby.
When have we seen that in 2024?
There
From
are
2000 to 2024.
there are
24 years.
there are albino babies that are born right now.
Well, I ain't talking about
That is
albino.
an albino.
Like, we gotta-
an
we still-
albino turned into to what we calling a
White person. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so
Let's quit saying albinos. We talk about white
all
people.
right. So again, does everybody know who?
So you're saying
Hoover.
all white people
What
are
that-
albinos?
No.
In their root?
Who was the guy who was trying to plant dirt on Martin Luther King?
J. Edgar Hoover.
There's so many of them.
J. Edgar Hoover. J. Edgar
Which
Hoover.
one?
J. Edgar Hoover is actually black. So for us to look at him and say that's a white man, he actually was black. And you can factually check me whenever you get a second. Is this? So we keep thinking like we have this whole system of okay, black or white.
Pass.
I know so many people who are mixed with this white and black that look Spanish. So if you look at Africa,
Yeah, now I do know a Spanish lady that does kind of look white.
Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
So
I
I'll
know
go this. So
But was she
wait.
made by two
Can I finish my
Spanish
last
people
part?
that?
All right.
Yeah.
And-
She,
and-
yeah, she was.
And
I asked her.
this is my last point.
So she say.
And this
Have
is
you
my
seen
last
the
point.
two Spanish people who made
I
it?
seen her mama.
What does she look like? Her?
She looked no. Her
Every
mama was
time I
dark.
got the
Come on,
mic.
Peanut. Come on.
Peanut, go ahead.
Go
He the one did
Shoot the
it.
rock, no,
No,
Peanut.
he's
Quit
right. He's
quit
right.
arguing.
You can tell by who have already been influenced based off the actual language of like they speak now. So if you see a melanated person speaking French, they were invaded by the French. So if you see places like Brazil before they got to Brazil, and then now you can see these women who now have these features of Brazilian with their skin being a certain color, their hair being. It wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
That from evolution of being raped by less melanated people.
I know, but we're saying we know that. We're just saying.
What my question is this: how long do you think, or how would it take for two Zulu people?
Yeah.
they're
she make a
offspring.
she have an offspring, and that offspring is non-melanated. How long, or how many times, or
From moving to the
from
caves.
that, what? How could you make a nation? How can a nation come from that? How long would it take to make a nation of
White people. From two Zulus who moved to the Caucasus Mountains.
No,
I know who
not
that-
moved
No,
to
who
the
just
Caucasus
He didn't
moved?
say move to the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah,
No,
that's what we said.
In Africa.
No, just
But I'm
period.
saying,
In Africa, just in Africa,
How
or
long would
moved
it
to the
take?
Caucasus
No, he
Mountains?
said. What
No,
about
it's not
two?
happening.
What
Just
about
have
two
a baby
black?
and they skin turn, and the baby come out white.
I don't think it's happening.
How? Why
So they
not?
would have to move to the Caucasus Mountains.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
you-
we
how long
said
did-
the way that
okay,
it happened
listen.
is they
Is they moved
expanded
to
and
the
moved
Caucasus
to a
Mountains.
different climate, and then that's how they ended
Okay.
up
So
changing.
how long
Okay,
would it
okay.
take if they moved to a
Let me
climate
throw-
where they wouldn't need?
Let me throw out a theory. I'm not saying that I agree
I'd say about 3
with the
generations.
theory,
We just
but
trying
I think Hava can attest to this is okay. You got you have the Hebrew Israelites, and then you also have the dudes that study the seven circle Quran, right? The 5%ers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 5%ers, they one of their theories, and Bill Carson, if he's listening, he probably gonna say, "Yeah, no, I got this in the books."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So Yakub in the Bible
Yeah.
is Jacob, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the depiction of this dude has a big old head,
Big ass
and
scientist.
he's supposed to be a scientist
That made white
that
people.
had made engineered white folks.
Right.
So I'm just saying that's a thing that's
That's a
out
theory.
there, right? So I can't say that actually
So
happened.
is Yakub or
but,
Anunnaki?
but that's out there. Yes. Yes.
Yakub is Anunnaki.
Yeah, but they, part of that Akhenaten family, because they all had. Okay, so Akhenaten was a king. He ruled over Egypt, and then there was a lot of things that was being made,
this one.
like science and all these other things that were taking place. This is just what's out there, right?
Right, but-
Whether people believe that happened or not, I'm just sharing what's out. I'm just giving the commentary on what's out
That's
there.
a theory.
You know what I'm saying? So Yakub, 5%ers. That's
Well,
what they.
I
That's
mean,
what
and
they
the
say.
reason the reason why
But
he's
I'm-
saying this
yeah.
is because we are
Yeah.
searching to see if black people were the first people that were born on Earth,
Yeah.
and they were born in Africa, how did white people get on the planet? Or hold up, or vice versa.
I want to add a question.
Or
No,
vice
no,
versa,
no,
if it
hold
was
on.
two white people,
A
how
lot
did
of
black people
historians
get
Or
on?
say
vice
that-
versa, if it was two white people, where did black people come from?
I think if you look at
according to science,
science and you look at what you were saying with the artifacts and stuff,
Yeah.
then it almost looks like white people showed up about
Where'd they get here? How'd they get here?
You know, it don't
like
really,
1,000 years ago.
nah,
No,
like
you said that.
like maybe 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's been
Not
long,
a
it's
thousand.
been longer than
Like
that.
12,
Think about
the,
that.
the Renaissance was 13 to the 1600s when they really got their jump off with the Renaissance. You know, they was a lot of them was on
Right.
all fours at one time
Right.
in certain regions. You know what I'm saying? Eating with their animals, catching all type of diseases. We're the ones that gave them medicine. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
We,
why
That's
dude,
what I'm
hold on,
saying.
let me ask this. Hold on, I got
when did they show up?
bro.
About
Please, hold on,
1,000 years ago.
bro. Let me ask this
Almost
question,
about
It's
12,
been-
1,500 years
bro.
ago.
longer than
Do
that.
white people corroborate
Mhm.
that story? Do white people agree with they were
They
on
from the
all
Caucasus
four?
Mountains.
Do
They
they agree?
corroborate that?
Hold on,
Yes.
wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait,
A
hold
lot
on,
of-
let me just finish the statement.
A
and then
lot
I
of
want y'all to go.
anthropologists
I
will
want y'all to
say
go.
that
They was on.
that
They was
blacks
cavemen. They was
were the-
cavemen.
They say that the blacks were here first.
They say blacks
Louis
was here
Leakey. Anybody listening, look up.
I
the
know
study
that.
of
About
Louis
the
Leakey.
four-
Hold on,
Yeah.
wait. Listen. Because I've heard some deep
Yeah.
dives on where white people come from, and they was on all fours. They was in the Caucasus Mountains. They was they was like animals, and then black people somehow like
Civilized them.
civilized them.
Right,
Perfect.
Right.
In
Do
Spain, I
white
could give you one.
people
Spain.
Yeah.
do white people agree with that narrative?
Yes, and it goes into what we look at like
What you mean? Do they agree?
wait. So
It's like if they say we came from monkeys, we don't agree with that. He's saying, do white people agree?
yes, they
with that?
agree to that because they have it in science book where like they'll show the fact of saying what was it called, like Homo erectus and all that stuff. Like they have that portion of where earlier man was.
They got that part, but
But
do they say blacks civilized them?
Yes.
Oh,
They-
what?
no,
Like what you talking about?
Or do they say
Agree with that
or do they-
shit.
or do they throw cavemen in there?
I haven't heard too many admit it,
Right.
That's what
but
I
some of
think.
the anthropologists have. The ones that
To
go,
what
Right,
extent,
that's what
though?
I'm
Like,
saying.
how
They
far do they
find
go
out.
I'm
and
just
say,
saying the ones that go do the digging.
So listen.
If you watch some of their interviews,
do they? Yeah.
you know what
Well,
I'm
they
saying?
say it in a
Right, when you
roundabout
find
way.
some of
Yeah.
these Artifacts.
Okay. Yeah.
I think I can go
Yeah.
with that though.
So, like, when
And
you
they didn't burn nothing down. That was a lie. They kept our
proves
books
that. It
so they
proves-
could use it.
So they don't never ever
for their
verbalize
empowerment.
it.
You out.
Hey, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you did good, man. Kept everything running.
We gonna see that fit.
So if you look up the Black Death
Okay.
in Europe, you will see that they said that like it was actually solved by the Moors teaching them how to bathe properly. Like
Yeah, that's the Moors
Yeah.
coming into Spain. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they ruled
So,
Spain
yeah,
for
like-
800 years.
like that's documented.
Yeah.
That the black people taught them how to bathe properly.
Yeah.
The Moors.
Yeah.
The Moors.
Hidden Colors, y'all, all 5 volumes. Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar
It's
Johnson.
documented.
Yeah.
So now I got.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Phil. I'm gonna go Phil.
I
Right
was gonna
now.
say.
I'm gonna go Phil right now. A document ain't shit. Who's fucking the document? Well, some shit is documented that really happened, so we got to do that. So a
But who are these
means-
documents
But
benefiting?
Phil, who is the document
So-
benefit? But Phil discounts every document
He does.
that's against him.
Mhm.
I don't think we
Phil.
can do that.
I
Phil
wish
is
he
a
was
good bro that like debates that blacks was not slaves in America whatsoever. We the
We were more like
indigenous.
employees.
we,
But one of you.
No,
Yeah.
he's not.
well,
I won't
He's
fuck
cool.
with
he-
him.
Oh, that's
He
Phil.
just
I won't fuck with
no.
him.
It's his friend.
Oh, his friend.
but even before
I
that,
won't smoke with Phil.
I don't even say that. I say man, Phil is a show contributor.
Yeah.
That's a dog,
Like, shout out
and
to
he
Phil.
like he
I like
debates
Phil.
his angle. Like you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
He
he-
unrelenting.
I
Feel
would
that
call him,
slavery
but my
existed.
bad.
He don't
No,
think
he
slavery existed.
Oh,
That's why I was
he
at-
into the dungeon?
No, that's why I was asking you those questions. He
Oh,
believes
okay.
that slavery,
Has he been to the dungeon?
slavery
He's
was
been
put
to the
here.
dungeons.
That I was trying to.
Yeah.
He
And
believes that
we-
slavery
we-
was put here for us to feel shame.
How does he feel about them?
How does he feel?
How does he feel? That's why I look, he found it.
I mean,
Hold on,
How does Phil feel about
You can kind of share.
can't argue with somebody.
No. You can share another man's view, but
I'm
I
not-
couldn't
hey,
get the full
Phil,
view unless he was here.
Well, what I'm
Oh,
saying
You know
is,
what I'm saying?
what I say
Yeah.
to him
I'm gonna
is,
ask you is
when he said,
how do you talk about these different insurance companies that insure these boats that took these people over there?
he
They're
said
not-
those are fake. That's not real.
Yeah, we looked at the whole.
We already went
showed
through
him
all
that.
that.
We
There's
showed him
records.
the.
But just
we
like
showed
I-
him the slave manifest
There's
of the
records.
ships we
He
found.
said it, but he said those records.
We
were
found a
produced by
bunch
them.
of them, bro.
So how?
We were the ones that was doing all the work.
I mean, technically, he's right. So
We
let's
was
just
doing
get
all
that out
work.
the way.
All
Get
of
that
them,
out the way. All this shit could have
First of
been
all
made
of
up.
those ship routes
Phil,
came
be
from
here
us.
Wednesday, man. I got something for Phil.
And like, technically, he's right
All of
because
these
That you need to
anything
get
can be
Came from
made
us.
up.
We transnavigated way before
Probably
Man,
no.
somebody want to call Phil though? Let's get him.
they did. We knew how to get to the Americas.
I need Phil here face to face for this one.
We knew how to get to the Americas before they
Open
did.
challenge next week, Phil. I challenge you to, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be in the audience when y'all do
A
that
one-off.
because I can't anymore.
Damn.
One up.
What's that?
So shout out to Phil.
Oh,
Bro,
No, I respect. Let me be clear. I respect
Man, let's call my
Phil's
nigga, man.
opinions on his genealogy. What I don't respect is that he doesn't respect other people's.
Yeah.
He wants me to look at his documents and his genealogy and what he says and say, okay,
Yeah.
you didn't come from slavery. But if I say I did, he's like, that
Yeah,
shit is fake.
Right.
That's what I don't respect.
Oh,
I respect,
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So it
You
would just,
can't do that. You can't fucking
Man.
discredit somebody's shit. Like, you know
So
what I'm
he's
saying?
saying
Just
like
say
slavery
yours
didn't
is
exist at
right.
all.
Mm-mm.
So like, what about like the plantations? He's saying like,
So that was
We
the
asked
point.
him about the Emancipation
Right,
Proclamation. We asked him about the Emancipation.
Man,
he
bro,
said
hold
most
on,
people
man.
don't
No, let me call
understand.
him.
And
Man,
emancipate doesn't mean to free.
Yeah,
I'm like, it literally does.
yeah, that was.
It literally means to free somebody from, like, it literally, like, the Emancipation Proclamation reads, freed if slavery was in
you can
it.
Yeah,
put.
she
Can you
ran.
put it? Can you put him on
Yeah,
on
They call
on the
it right
thing?
now.
I,
Oh,
I
no,
need
no,
a charger though,
no.
man.
Like
My phone
Sinetta
about to
TV
die.
be doing?
that's
Mine is too. Well, no, I got him 35%.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Phil.
What's going on?
Hey man, they saying your name, man. I had to call you, man. So
I
smoke that.
they
Phil. I got
saying
smoke
your
for you,
name,
Phil.
man. I'm like, nah, y'all call you. You gotta defend yourself.
Like,
I got smoke for you, Phil. This peanut.
They talking about
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm gonna call you from another line, man, because my phone about to die, man. If you trying to get on, if you got time.
what y'all talking about.
The slavery, man.
Emancipation.
Emancipation, the slavery.
I come up here, man. I just bring my receipt. I ain't got my receipts up here right now.
Oh,
he sound like he busy. That sounds
how Virginia is that?
It sound legit.
He stay
So next Wednesday, it sounds like he busy. So
All right,
next
cool.
Wednesday, what about next Wednesday? Can you
Keep that heat on you, cuz. Keep that heat
I'm
on you.
leaving tomorrow. I'm in Houston now.
I just come with my receipts, man. I ain't,
be
you know
on?
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, just say your point right now. Your one liner. What's your point? This your whole point. Just wrap it up in one statement, and we about to let us go about slavery.
We shouldn't even be talking about slavery. Research. You can't talk in general. You need to stop talking in general because that kind of people
Yeah,
kind of
that's kind of good, though. He said
No,
some
it ain't.
shit. He did say some shit right there.
He's saying if you can't trace your
He said if you
Hold on,
can't trace
hold
your
on, hold on.
genealogy back to slavery, then you should not be claiming
That's what he's
slavery.
saying. That's what
Like
Did
you
he say
can't
claiming
say
or
all
talking
black
about
people
it?
are
Did he say
bad.
claiming or
Like when
talking
I
about
hold on, wait a
That-
minute,
that
time
don't
out.
make sense
Hold
at
on,
all.
hold on, wait a minute, wait, please let me say my point. and
Slavery
now
is
let
the
y'all go.
first part of
Hold on, but
civilization.
listen,
Hold
but
on.
just earlier we said I can't blame all niggas from throwing trash on my
Your
parking lot.
Parking lot.
So if you don't know you was a slave,
Well, I didn't think he said that.
you can't fucking claim slavery.
He
You
didn't-
got to do your genealogy first. See if your people were slaves. If they was, claim slavery as a reason why you fucked up. Other than that, don't do it because you have to look at every black person as an individual and not a blanket fucking like
So
group
how
of
about
enslaved
slavery?
people.
But he didn't say that.
You don't
What he
believe
said
that.
was.
You don't
One
believe
more
that.
question,
You
one
don't
more
believe
question.
that.
What he
You
said.
right, but I'm right.
Hold on.
I
believe that.
just
Wait, I'm about
Phil
to
don't
ask
believe
you.
what he
I'm
just
about to
said.
ask Phil.
He's talking about
Believe
slavery.
it. Phil, do you believe slavery exists? Wait. I'm gonna ask you, do you believe slavery exists?
Wait,
He about to
You
answer
said
this
you can't
question.
prove it exists if you can't.
Wait.
If my people
Wait, hold on, Phil. Wait, do you believe slavery exists?
Not at the scale that they promoted. Not at that type of scale. Not at that
What?
type
How
of
many?
scale.
How many slaves
Were
was it
there-
total? How many total slaves?
So
was
how
it?
many? So what scale?
Were there
What?
slaves?
So explain your
Were
definition
there
of slavery.
slaves?
No. How many
How
total
many-
slaves was it? How many
How many
total
total
slaves?
slaves was
Pretty much context of how they say it.
I think it
And if
was
you
very
say there
minimal.
was, then
Just give
He
me
said
a
very
number. I
minimal.
want to hear
He
a
said very
number. I want to
so
hear
there
a number.
was.
How
Okay,
many,
there
okay.
was.
how many
So
do they
that-
say it was? How many do they say it was? And then
So
how
he said
many?
there was. So
Hold on,
that's
wait.
it.
Wait, how many do they say it was, and then how many was it actually? That's the question.
They try to say it's 12.5 million so-called Africans came here and bonded.
12.5
That'll get
millions? Hell no,
Look
it's
it
more
up.
than that.
And
12.5 million?
12.5 million. They trying to say that 12.5 million people came here, or that was slaves. That's what they got in history. They got 12.5 million in history.
All right, so how many was it actually?
I don't think.
Hey, Phil. Hey, Phil, you
I don't know. What's his answer to the
He said he
What's
question?
don't
your
know
answer?
that.
What's your number? What's your
I
number?
mean,
Do you
give me
think
a
it was
number.
more?
I
Do you
don't-
think it was more
No,
or
I think
less?
it was way
Or
less. Way less.
Way less.
Define
How many?
way.
How many? How many?
like way less? Like what? Like half or more than half?
Less than half. I'd say three. I would probably. I don't know.
Hold on. Wait a minute now.
Hey,
now,
Phil,
Phil.
let
Now,
me ask
Phil.
you.
Phil. Hold on, Phil.
Hey, do you mess with Phil Calloway? Don is it Dan Calloway?
Barry Calloway.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan Calloway.
Yeah, you roll with him?
Some of the things he say, he got truth behind it. He be
Okay, I was just asking. Yeah, I was just trying to get a frame of
I
reference.
like Dane Calloway and love Dane Calloway, and I think that he's. Well, I think Dane Calloway do some good work for real. I ain't gonna even hold you, but I just want to know how many slaves it was.
He say like what? Like you say like a million?
Say less than that.
Less than a million?
So wait.
You say less than a million.
Less than a million people experienced slavery.
So wait.
Yeah.
After slavery, wait.
I like that
So
answer.
wait. I have a question.
I like
Less than a million.
So Phil, how many immigrants came through Ellis Island after slavery? Like until they closed it down.
12.5. The same number they talking about. The 12.5. The Ellis Island story actually is parallel to the slavery story. But the
Okay,
thing about the Ellis Island, they got actual video and footage of them. Like it ain't no picture sketched out or nothing. It shows the same story, the same thing that they try to say happened to us, basically, or the melanated people that's here. The same exact thing is backed by truth and document with them.
So Phil, what about these other islands that have black occupants there who were also enslaved, who aren't in no type of cahoots with the United States, such as Jamaica, such as Haiti. What about them? Because like they weren't white influenced to document their books. It was them winning the war and telling their own story.
I mean, that's cool. I mean,
That's good.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That's British territory, so they always ran Jamaica. That's what they trying to say. That's supposedly what the invaders. That's what they touched down at.
No.
Hold on. So this
You gotta explain how these black red continents are saying the same story of these white oppressors if they are the storytellers and the victors of the war.
And where do the people in Haiti come from? Now that's an interesting question. Was the people in Haiti already there and they came in and tried to slave them, or did they bring slaves to Haiti and then the people there fought back and rebelled? Like that's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's a good question.
But Haiti was always known for having melanated people.
That's not, that was not the question.
Even if you dig back in
I'm making a
But they
point
already
to say,
there.
like,
Like,
if the
that
Haitians was already there, niggas was already fucking here.
Right.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
If the
And South
people in
America
Haiti,
was-
like, and that's why they call them like these like demon people,
Oh,
because they fought back and could defend their
So that's
that's the chicken.
that's
Yeah.
the smoking gun.
That's
Because
the point.
if Haiti
They was
never
kicking
was
ass.
enslaved, then that means they was already there when
And they tried to come there and enslave them on their land.
enslave them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what
They
happened.
were already there.
Yeah.
The
So-
people in Haiti was already on that
Already
island.
there. And those people in Haiti
Yeah.
look like us.
So
Exactly.
They teaching them
We've
the
been
same
already
curriculum
here.
They teaching us.
No,
That's a fucking smoke.
no,
That's
we knew that. Don't y'all? Didn't y'all
if we
know?
know that,
Yeah.
then it's
Then we
safe
know
to
what?
assume that the people in America was also niggas, like the niggas that was in Haiti.
Came home to roots baby, because
But that's what he's saying though. But he's saying that if they was already in Haiti, then that means they was already in America.
Exactly.
all black people, but that doesn't.
No, all of us
All
who
black
running this
people.
motherfucker
We look
from
like that
Haiti,
motherfucking Haiti.
Jamaica, every fucking thing. Right. They tried to come. Haiti, the people in Haiti fought back. The people in Haiti fought
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
fucking. Hold on, listen, hold on. Tell Phil to hold on for a second.
Hold on. Of the West Indies.
Phil, I'm cooking up the dinner that you fucking would love to fucking prepare. Like, I'm cooking up some good shit for you.
We're about to hang up,
I
dog.
motherfucking
I got like
took this shit to the
1%.
next
You got
level.
1%, man. Phil, we're going to have to have you on the show, man.
Oh yeah. Damn. Some of my argument that fried me up.
We got to have you on the show, man.
Argument that fried me up.
Yeah,
And it, now it makes sense.
right.
Since we keep talking about the islands and stuff like that, I just asked everybody to look up what consists of the West Indies. Just look it up, and it'll
Yeah.
surprise you.
Now, I'm fucking
Alright,
with you.
Phil, alright, Phil. Hey, bro, we're gonna have to have you on the show. Come to the show.
That's
To the conclusion.
That's
You know what I'm
simple.
saying?
That's
No.
simple. Borders and
It was
rivers.
definitely slavery, but they came
Borders and rivers.
enslaved
Make
us
up-
because
make
we
it
were
up.
Already here. The people in Haiti was already there.
Yeah.
The people in America, we was already there.
Alright,
Our
alright, Phil,
fucking
we gonna
land,
get back
man.
with you, man.
We
You nigga,
niggas that
you know what I'm
look
saying?
like the
Alright.
people in Haiti, not no Indian.
Borders
Yeah.
and rivers and a flag.
Yeah, but it was more. We was like
More.
running this motherfucker like seriously, the dominating people all over. Like if this was Africa. Think of it just like that.
Yeah.
This was fucking Africa.
Exactly.
Why are
And
y'all
that's what I'm saying, because
I'm
these
flipping
motherfuckers came
This was
over
Africa.
here
This
and
was
gave- and
fucking
sold us a
Africa.
trick bag.
We was
And look,
this was Africa.
I would add also.
Motherfucking-
I would add also this
Yeah.
is if you were to take an African who lives in a predominantly hot climate to come here and have to farm in lands that you've never done it before, how would you make that transition of them learning that when these motherfuckers had a whole fucking potato famine where they couldn't even eat off shit they was growing? So
Who
who
you
the fuck
talking
was
about? Who couldn't eat off of it?
the Irish? What I'm talking about,
Oh,
right? So
these day words.
So-
you gotta put-
So listen. These people who we taught these whole different things, we go all the way back to when we was Moors. They want to bring Africans here to farm those lands here. If you think about it, how many people who already know how to do it?
Yeah, we weren't all Moors either.
No, but so
Right.
you're
Yeah, but
so
yeah.
you're saying the
So-
transatlantic slave trade didn't happen?
I'm
I'm
flip-flopping
saying
a little
Is
bit.
that what we're
I
saying?
think
It
the
happened,
transatlantic
but-
slave. I
It
think they
happened
brought
at a less
Africans
degree.
over
I agree
here.
with Phil. I think Phil converted me because
Yeah, I
I
think
know.
that they did bring Africans over here, but I think they
Yeah, like
enslaved the
niggas
people
was-
that was here.
Well, we know that.
Oh,
But there was
Already,
another
slavery
slavery
forever.
before the
Wow.
transatlantic slavery. It was called the trans-Sahara slavery.
Yeah.
When the Arabs had us under
talk about
occupation as
chattel.
well too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's
But I'm
in
just
the
saying there was I'm just sharing for understanding's sake, there was a slavery before, if we say the transatlantic slave,
So from
Trade
what?
happened.
From what war?
the trans-Sahara slave trade.
From
Well,
where,
that
where,
war
where,
part of
where,
it,
what
that
war
was-
was
that
that?
was the
Where
Arabs.
those slaves come from?
That was
for
that was the Arabs.
I know, but where they get their slaves from?
They got them from they got them out of Africa. The Arab slave trade. The Arabs are the ones that taught the Europeans, and then the Europeans had the worst form of slavery, and that was chattel slavery.
So
When they strip your name, your land, and all that kind of
That's
shit.
what they did to these
You know
people
what I'm saying?
that was here when they got here. That's what they did to the people on this land. They stripped them from their name. They stripped them from their land.
Yep.
They stripped them from their heritage.
Yep. It took their
They did-
religion from them
They stripped
and
them
their
from
language.
religion, and all
Yep.
of that. Wiped them out.
Yep. English
Like the
is a
people that
form of
was
white
here.
supremacy.
They talking about
Yeah,
the lost
because
tribes.
we had to learn a
The
we taught them
Native
language,
Americans
and then
had
they gave
the
us
most
another
lost
language.
tribes.
I'll go one step further. Christianity is a. All right.
I got a book called How Niggas Became Christians, man.
All you gotta do is read the Christian.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Man, so to me, I feel like we are finally all in
Start
agreement.
your t-shirt business.
No, we not.
All
Because you
right.
call Phil.
We not in agreement.
That lady should have. Let's recap. That lady should have never got hit by that cop
Yes.
and punched in the
Never.
face.
Never
I think
been
that was
punched by
one of
a
the
cop.
biggest conversations we
Yes.
had today.
We all
tonight
agree.
because you was so fired up.
Yeah.
It was her actions and no. Yeah, that was a good one.
I got to play back and forth, man. I got to play back and forth.
Yeah.
So we all are in agreement that that lady should not have been hit by the police officer.
Listen,
Yeah.
let's
Just
be
recap.
clear.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Be clear.
Come on,
Let's
man.
be clear. We
Remember
all
that
been
dude got
in
shot by his family.
Okay, then.
man.
So and we all
And the
agree.
I
pastor-
don't think you were saying that she
Yeah.
should have been hit.
His child was in the
I
back.
think
He
you
was
were
in the
saying
front.
that her actions.
Watch it back.
That cop told him
I
to reach for
never
his
said
wallet.
that she should have been hit.
That's what I'm saying.
He
I don't
sprayed
think
about
you
8 bullets in his
So
chest.
we've
I'm
been
ready
in
to go.
agreement.
His
I'm
wife was
saying
driving.
we've
You
been in
remember that?
agreement.
Wife was driving. He
What
was
we're
on the
in
passenger
agreement
seat.
is
They came on the passenger side, told him to pull his wallet
That's what
out,
we disagree.
and they put
We
eight
don't
in his
disagree
chest
on
in front of
the
his
fact
daughter
that
was
she
in the
should
back seat.
have hit.
I just say,
I
man,
don't
you got
like shit like
you
that.
got sprayed.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm trying to close the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's fucked up.
So that's why I like to keep my wallet up there on my
That's
visor.
crazy. Bro.
Yeah.
This
To
dude
kill
just got
somebody
pepper
like-
spray because he
Yeah.
talking about some. They talking about some. He
Let's close out,
yeah,
y'all.
he must be smoking because
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
slurred.
Close out.
All right, man.
So-
Love everybody, man. We're gonna
Oh,
see
yeah.
y'all the next time, bro.
Shoot.
Tune in to the next one.
All right,
Man.